My beloved child, I have something profound to say, and I need your undivided heart. What you're about to hear is not just a message, it's a moment, a line in the sand, a turning point. Because you, my child, you are about to leave. And how you listen right now will absolutely determine how you enter what's next. Do not scroll. Do not skip. Don't let distractions steal this holy appointment. Watch this all the way through, as if heaven itself is holding its breath for your response, because it is. I'm pulling you out of what's been draining you. I'm shutting doors you didn't have the strength to close. And I'm handing you keys to the place your soul has been crying for in silence. Pay attention, because by the end of this, you won't just be watching. You'll be walking away changed. My beloved child, touch the noise and come near. Here's something I must say to you that carries the sound of departure wrapped in holy urgency. You are standing at the edge, not of danger, but of a divine decision. This is the hour where movement matters. I have been whispering this for a while now. Through the tightening of your comfort, through the restlessness in your spirit, through the closed doors that once stood wide open, the discomfort isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's not a mistake. It's a sign. Your spirit is leaning forward because your destiny is already pulling you. What you are sensing isn't confusion. It is alignment being born. You are no longer compatible with where you are. And that's not failure, that's transformation. You've outgrown the garments of your old season, and now I'm dressing you in the fabric of forward. But you must know this. You cannot carry both destiny and denial in the same arms. You've lingered long enough in places that no longer speak your language. You've sat at tables where your presence was tolerated, but your purpose was never celebrated. And I say this to you in love. The season has expired. What I once allowed, I am now closing. Not out of anger, but to awaken you. Because, child, I have heard your prayers for breakthrough, but breakthrough cannot happen where bondage is still being entertained. You are not being abandoned, you are being activated. You see, what stands behind you was useful for a time. I used it, I blessed it, I even sheltered you in it. But it is no longer your address. And what I'm calling you to now requires you to turn around and face forward. You cannot carry both the weight of what was and the wonder of what will be. This is not the hour to look back with longing eyes. This is the hour to listen to the cloud that's already begun to move. I've been stirring your atmosphere because I'm shaking you free, not as a punishment, but as a rescue. You are about to leave behind patterns that disguise themselves as comfort. You are about to walk away from assignments I never gave you, roles you performed just to belong, and expectations that had nothing to do with my design for you. My child, I am not a God of confinement. I am the God of calling. And I would rather disrupt your rhythm than let you rot in a room where your anointing has been stifled. I know it's hard. I know you've built memories here. I know your identity has been tied to these walls. But I did not create you to be defined by what I've now outgrown for you. Yes, I said I've outgrown it because I live inside you. And where I am going, you must follow. This is not just movement. This is obedience. This is the place where faith steps before sight and trust becomes your transportation. I'm not just calling you out of a location. I'm calling you into revelation. And that revelation begins the moment you say yes to leave. My child, I have seen every moment. The quiet ones no one noticed, the heavy ones you carried with silent grace. You've been faithful in rooms that no longer fit the blueprint of who I'm making you to be. You've sat with honor in places that secretly drain your hope, all while convincing yourself, maybe this is all I deserve. Maybe this is what obedience looks like. But I never asked you to wither in the name of loyalty. I never called you to stay where your spirit suffocates, just to please people who stopped seeing your light long ago. You were not made to shrink in order to be accepted. You were made to shine, to rise, to carry glory that reflects me. I watched as you silenced your own roar, so others wouldn't feel convicted by your calling. I heard the thoughts that whispered, if I get smaller, maybe I'll be loved more. But child, no more shrinking, no more spiritual starvation. The place you're in once served as shelter. Yes, I was there. But now that same space has become a prison cloaked in familiarity. You keep reaching for oxygen in a room I've already vacated, and I won't let you keep gasping for what I've already called finished. I have seen you try to make peace with pressure, try to call comfort what was really captivity. And still, in all of it, I never turned my face from you. I let you linger, not because I was indifferent, but because I knew your spirit needed to realize. This is not your final home. You don't belong in rooms that mute your spirit and muzzle your voice. You've outgrown them, not because you've become arrogant, but because I've expanded your inner capacity. You feel it, don't you? That sacred dissonance, that holy discomfort, that ache in your belly that says something more exists. I just can't name it yet. That's me. It's your creator stirring the waters, disrupting your routine, dismantling false peace, and declaring over your life, rise. Yes, rise from the rubble of redundancy. Rise from the lies that told you settling was safety. Rise from the old wineskin of who you used to be. What once fit now feels foreign. And that's not failure, it's favor. Because I am stretching you for the stage I've been building in secret. A stage not built by men's hands, but carved from eternity's design. I am not asking you to perform, I am commanding you to come forth. And don't be surprised, beloved, when leaving looks like loss to those who only understood a version of you that I'm now shedding. Don't mourn the misunderstandings. Don't bow to their bewilderment. You are rising not in rebellion, but in revelation. I'm lifting the ceiling, breaking the patterns, and shifting the ground beneath your feet to show you. You were never created to exist in the confines of false contentment. I've heard the sound of your soul crying beneath the surface, and that sound has reached heaven. It moved me. It mobilized angels. Its movement. And now I'm bringing divine disruption. I didn't bring you this far to be stuck in systems that don't see you. I am rising within you like a lion, and I won't let you lay dormant another day. The chains you call routine, I now call resistance. The smile you forced to survive, I'm replacing with a roar of resurrection. Because you are not just about to leave, you are about to rise. And when you rise, everything that once claimed ownership over your peace will have to bow. And so hear this clearly, my child. This isn't rebellion. This is revelation. This isn't escape. It's elevation. You aren't running. You're resurrecting. You're walking out of what no longer carries breath. This is the call that shakes dust off your dreams and summons the sleeping lion inside of you. I am here. I am near. I am igniting every dormant place that thought the silence meant you were forgotten. And I declare, you are not forgotten, you are being formed. And now the forming is finished. The foundation is firm. The fire is lit. So rise. Rise into rooms you once only prayed for. Rise into clarity that silence tried to steal. Rise into identity that shame tried to erase. I'm not just watching, I'm walking with you. And where we're going, no grave of limitation will follow you. Oh, precious one, how many times have you stared at closed doors and asked, when God? How often have you sat in the hallway of hesitation, pacing the floors of uncertainty, wondering if I had overlooked your name when I released blessings over others? You watched others move while you waited. You watched opportunities pass like strangers on a train, and still you stayed. You remained in the waiting room, heart in hand, unsure if hope had a place anymore. But what you didn't know was that every tick of time was tenderly used to carve out divine timing. The waiting wasn't wasted. The hallway wasn't hollow. It was holy. Because in that space, I was strengthening you. I was conditioning your spirit to hold what's coming. I was teaching your soul how to listen beyond noise, how to trust without sight, how to stay even when standing felt like bleeding. And now, beloved, the shift has arrived. The door is opening, and it's not a casual crack. It's a divine, dramatic, undeniable swing. This is the exit I constructed with my own hand. This isn't just a new path, it's a departure into destiny. You're not stepping into chance, you're stepping into choice, my choice. This doorway isn't one you earned, this one you were chosen for. And I want you to understand something crucial. This moment didn't sneak up on me. I authored it. I orchestrated it. I customized it with your fingerprints in mind. It may look sudden to others, but to me, it's right on schedule. And now that waiting room, where your spirit once sat, praying for permission to move, is echoing with the sound of my decree. Leave. Not run. Not hide. Leave with dignity, with clarity, with me. That room, that season, that version of you is complete. This is more than movement, it's metamorphosis. I'm not handing you a mere transition. I'm handing you transformation. You're not just crossing a threshold, you're stepping into an unveiling. This is the part of the story where what was hidden starts to speak, starts to sing. And child, you are the melody. Do you hear it? The door is creaking open, not by the hand of man, not by chance or charm, but by my spirit. The very hinges are singing of your faithfulness. The handle bears the imprint of your tears. And as that door swings wide, heaven bears witness. You are being invited into rooms that were closed off to the unprepared. Your preparation happened in silence, and now your reward begins in motion. You will leave the waiting room not limping, but leaping. You will walk out not weakened by delay, but armored with destiny. And every second you thought was wasted is now becoming fuel for your journey. So do not hesitate. Don't peek through the door with reluctance. Run. Run into what I've been waiting to give you. Run into purpose. Run into the promises I spoke before time began. You are not just leaving where you were, you are arriving where you belong. So now, walk with me. Leave the dust of delay at the doorframe, and let me show you what obedience births. Let me reveal what you couldn't even articulate in prayer. The door is open, a way is made, and my voice is the only compass you need. This isn't just a step forward, this is the shift heaven has been waiting to see you make. The trumpet is sounding, the angels are aligning, and all of heaven is declaring over your life. You are about to leave, and nothing will ever be the same again. My child, do you feel it in your chest? That ache that won't be quiet? That pulse that doesn't match the rhythm of where you are? That's not restlessness, it's resurrection. I've been breathing behind the curtain, stirring waters that looked still, moving in places that felt forgotten. And now that invisible wind you sense is not imagination. It is a divine force. You are about to leave the season of stagnation, and everything that has tried to freeze your momentum is about to feel the heat of heaven's fire. The stagnation wasn't your failure, it was a holding pattern. It was me pausing your flight to prevent a crash you couldn't see coming. You thought you were stuck, but I was saving you. You thought nothing was moving, but I was moving everything behind the scenes to prepare a path that would protect your promise. That dry season, the place where vision blurred and prayers felt like whispers into a void. That season is over. It's breaking. And what's replacing it isn't just forward motion, it's holy release. I am releasing you not into chaos, not into confusion, but into clarity that sings. The dam that held your dreams in suspension is cracking. The gate that blocked your vision is lifting. The chains of indecision that wrapped around your ankles, disguised as logic and caution, are snapping under the weight of my word. I'm not coming gently into this moment. I'm coming like a flood that knows its time has come. This is not the hour of trickles. It is the season of sudden shifts, sudden signs, sudden strategy. I do not need a long timeline to redeem lost years. I do not require permission from man to elevate what I've anointed. I say to you now, the grip that held you is losing strength. The lies that looped in your mind are losing volume. The delay you feared would become your destiny is unraveling before my eyes. And I need you to lean in and believe again. Believe like you did before disappointment clouded your vision, because I'm about to pour out momentum that your logic can't comprehend. And it will not be a slow drip. It will be a divine deluge. You're not just being freed from stagnation, you're being launched, catapulted. I've accelerated. The years of waiting have created a runway, and now the sound you hear is the roar of liftoff. I will not let you settle in the land of almost. I will not let you camp out in maybe next time. You were not created to decorate delay with faithless decor. You were created to carry fire, to be a torchbearer, not a placeholder. The things that sat dormant in your spirit are about to rise, and I mean rise, not with a whisper, but with a shout of supernatural alignment. The ideas that once felt impossible will now feel inevitable. The relationships that drain you will no longer distract you. The purpose you buried under practical reasons will burst through the soil of your soul like a seed watered in secret. I am reactivating everything that once breathed life into your spirit. This is not revival. This is release. And the difference is divine because revival brings you back, but release sends you forward. So brace yourself, beloved. Not for battle, but for birth. The contraction has come, the push is here, and the promise is crowning. You will not be stuck another day in a place where your calling is caged. I'm unlocking what you couldn't access. I'm reversing what time tried to rob. And this time, the door won't just open, it will swing off its hinges. Because when I move, I don't ask permission. I dismantle delay. I crush confusion. And I crown obedience. This is not your imagination. This is me. I am the voice behind your sudden sigh of relief, the whisper behind your unexpected weeping. I am the reason you woke up today feeling like something shifted, because it has. Get ready to leave stagnation. It will not hold you another moment. The season is shifting, and so are you. O child, you are standing at a sacred intersection. One road is paved with familiarity, smooth, known, quiet, and predictable. The other is wrapped in mystery. raw, wild, uncertain, yet alive with my breath. And I know how tempting it is to stay with what you know. I know how convincing comfort can be, how loud safety can shout when destiny knocks. But listen closely. Just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it's faithful. And just because something looks safe doesn't mean it's sacred. The familiar will beg you to stay. It will wear the voice of logic, reason, and well-meaning concern. But it's really fear in costume. It will say, "Don't go. You've worked so hard to build this." It will say, "What if nothing better comes?" It will say, "You're not ready. Wait a little longer." But hear me now. Those voices do not speak for me. I'm not in the echo of fear. I'm in the sound of movement. I'm in the whisper that unsettles your comfort and awakens your courage. And child, the cloud is moving. And I never called you to stay where I am no longer dwelling. When I moved the cloud in the wilderness, it was not up for debate. I didn't negotiate, and I didn't explain. I shifted, and so must you, because where the cloud goes, my presence follows. And where my presence goes, your provision waits. You cannot afford to remain in places I've left, even if they still look good, even if they still speak your name, even if they still honor your past. You were never meant to follow comfort. You were created to follow the cloud. Yes, I know the unknown is terrifying, but staying in a season that no longer fits is more dangerous than stepping into a season that hasn't yet revealed its details. I never promised predictability. I promised presence. I never guaranteed clarity before obedience. I guaranteed companionship in the journey. So let go of your grip on what once worked. Release your clenched hands from the routines that became idols. I'm not asking you to abandon wisdom. I'm asking you to discern my wind, because the wind has shifted, and you cannot soar in a direction I'm no longer blowing. Your spirit already knows. You feel it in your bones, even if your mind hasn't caught up. That ache, that nudge, that persistent tension, that's not instability, that's invitation. I've placed eternity in your heart, and it can't make peace with smallness. Your destiny was never meant to be caged in complacency. And that's why your old comfort now feels like a coffin. You're not dying, you're waking up. The resurrection within you is making it impossible to fake peace in a place where your anointing can't breathe. The voice of familiarity will keep calling, but you must tune your ear to my frequency. I'm not speaking in echoes. I'm speaking in a new sound, a frequency of forward. And you'll only hear it if you lean into me, not your past. So yes, the cloud is moving. The wind is rising, and I am leading not with maps but with fire, not with details but with direction. You won't miss me if you listen. You won't fall if you follow. I'm not just ahead of you, I'm within you. Take the step, not with fear, but with fire. You may not know what's on the other side of obedience, but you know who is. I am there. I am waiting, and I am already making space for your arrival. Familiarity will not own your future. Safety will not seduce your spirit. This is the moment where heaven calls you higher. And though the familiar may beg you to stay, your spirit has already started to move. Follow it, because I am the cloud, and I am on the move. My beloved, lean closer. Let me speak where no one else has dared to enter. That inner space where you've kept fragments of old memories and broken promises tucked beneath a smile you wear like armor. I've watched you try to resurrect peace from ruins, decorating places that drained you with words like loyalty and commitment. But child, let me be clear. Just because you endured a space doesn't mean you're called to stay in it. Stop romanticizing the very ground where your joy was buried. Stop trying to revive what I've already declared finished. I know it felt sacred once. I know it held moments that mattered, but those moments were seasonal, not eternal. I gave you grace to be there for a while, but not forever. And now that grace is lifting, because the time to leave has come. You've built habits around hardship. You've built routines around resignation. But I didn't call you to live in survival mode. You were not designed to adapt to dysfunction or normalize numbness. You've tried to convince yourself that this must be what obedience looks like. Constantly sacrificing your sanity, trading sleep for silence, staying in rooms that no longer reflect your royalty. But I didn't crown you to be a captive. I didn't anoint you just so you could tolerate what you were born to transform. I never told you to build a home on sinking sand. And yet I've watched you keep adjusting your peace around other people's chaos. Not because you're weak, but because your heart is tender. You thought enduring meant succeeding. But child, there is a difference between perseverance and spiritual paralysis. One grows your faith, the other chains your soul, and I'm here to cut those chains. Right now, resurrection is not just an event, it's a calling. And I'm calling you to rise again, not just in body, but in belief. Not just in presence, but in purpose. The survival mode you mastered was never meant to become your identity. That mindset, the one that says, just get through it, is now being replaced with the sound of my spirit saying, thrive through it. I'm not asking you to fake joy anymore. I'm offering you real joy. Joy that doesn't ask for performance. Peace that doesn't depend on perfection. I am breathing life into the cracked places, those internal caverns you sealed shut because it hurt too much to hope again. But child, hope is holy, and it's not dead, it's dormant. But here I am calling it forth. I am speaking to the Lazarus within you, the dream you buried beneath disappointment, the strength you laid to rest after too many betrayals. I am saying, come out. So no, don't build another day around survival. Don't settle into a rhythm of resignation. You were not created to simply endure. You were created to emerge. And that's what you're doing now. This is your moment of holy exodus, not just from a place, but from a mindset. You are leaving the graveyard of your old self. And I am clothing you in the resurrection of your real identity. The you that remembers how to laugh, the you that prays with fire again, the you that wakes up with expectation, not exhaustion. The world may not recognize you after this, but heaven will rejoice because you didn't just leave, you lived. And that, my child, is the miracle they never saw coming. There is something holy about the quiet. Even when it feels like abandonment, my child, you mistook my silence for absence. But I was never gone. I was never distant. I was closer than the breath inside your lungs. I just stepped back, not to hurt you, but to heal you. I gave you the gift of pause. I gave you space to gather, not because I wanted you to feel alone, but because I wanted you to hear me without distortion. The noise had become too loud. Too many opinions, too many expectations, too many voices drowning out the only one that matters. So yes, I allowed the silence. I didn't explain everything. I didn't answer every cry. But child, I heard them. Every whispered question, every tear that hit your pillow like thunder in the spirit. I recorded them in eternity's journal. And now I say this to you, not as a distant king, but as your loving father. You are ready. You didn't think you were. You thought the silence stole your strength, but it didn't. I saved it. What looked like stillness on the outside was training on the inside. While you wondered if anything was happening, I was rebuilding your roots. I was strengthening your spine. I was sharpening your discernment. You thought you were being delayed, but you were being developed. Do you remember those nights you sat in the dark wondering if I had forgotten you? That wasn't forgetfulness, that was forging. I was burning away the clutter that clouded your clarity. I was detoxing your spirit from the noise of dependency. You don't need their approval anymore. You don't need 1,000 confirmations. What you need, what you have, is me. And that is enough. More than enough. I didn't want you to follow the crowd. I wanted you to crave my cloud. And now that you do, now that your hunger has returned, I say to you, let's move. I'm not moving ahead of you. I'm moving with you. This journey is not just about direction, it's about divine companionship. Yes, the silence taught you how to hear again, how to lean in, how to recognize my whisper in the whirlwind. And now every step you take will echo with intimacy. You will not walk in confusion. You will walk in cadence. Because my voice will guide you like a melody through the madness. And here's what you must know. You will not go empty. You've gathered strength, not worldly strength, but sacred stamina. The kind that endures without applause. The kind that holds on to me even when every visible sign screams, give up. You thought you were breaking, but you were actually becoming. Becoming strong enough to leave, becoming wise enough to recognize me, becoming bold enough to walk into promise without needing all the pieces. So yes, the silence served you, and now I'm serving you something new. Movement. Not rush, not panic, not striving. Sacred movement. I'm inviting you to walk with me, not because everything is figured out, but because your faith has grown wings. The wind is shifting. The silence has lifted, and my voice is leading you forward. You're not the same person who entered the silence. You're not as fragile, not as afraid, not as distracted. You've been fortifying in the fire, and now the flame in you matches the flame on my altar. So take my hand, step into the next with holy confidence. You are ready. Not because everything is perfect, but because your yes is pure. And that's all I need to write the rest of the story with glory. My precious child, listen to me carefully. This leaving is not a loss. It's a lifting. You are not being exiled. You are being elevated. I know what it feels like. The ache in your chest, the tremble in your hands, the question pressing against your ribs. Why does leaving still feel like grieving? But child, hear the truth wrapped in my eternal voice. This departure isn't a punishment, it's a promotion. I'm not stripping you, I'm trading with you. What seems like subtraction is actually the beginning of divine addition. You are not walking away empty, you are walking away equipped. You held on long enough. You fought the good fight, and now I, your father, your king, your shepherd, am saying, lay it down and I will raise you up. You see, there are some things you were never meant to carry into the next chapter, not because they were evil, but because they were earthly. I've watched you grip good things that have quietly grown heavy. I've seen your knuckles whiten as you clung to roles, routines, and relationships that once reflected my favor, but no longer release my fire. You thought walking away would mean failure. You feared it would mean shame. But what if I told you this leaving is sacred? What if I told you it was sealed in heaven long before you felt the first tug to go? My child, this is not subtraction. This is sacred exchange. I am taking what has grown stale, and I am replacing it with what's eternal. I am lifting off the dust-covered garments of a former season and wrapping you in the fresh oil of a new one. You are not losing identity. You are stepping into inheritance. And I know you're tempted to ask, why now? Why, after all this time, am I calling you to let go of something you invested in, prayed over, wept through? Because I don't build altars around what's temporary. I build legacy from what's eternal. And the eternal thing I'm planting in you can't grow in the soil of where you've been. You thought the departure would diminish your significance. But I say this to you, it will declare your distinction. You are not leaving because you're unworthy. You're leaving because you're ready. You've passed the hidden tests, the midnight wrestles, the quiet obedience that only angels bore witness to. And now heaven has signed the decree, promotion has been spoken. And I will not allow the past to hold hostage what the future is prepared to release. So let go, not in fear, but in faith. You are not abandoning anything. You are ascending. And what I'm placing in your hands next will require both hands open. This is not the end. This is the elevation. And you, my beloved, have been found faithful in the fire. That's why I now call you into the fullness of the flame. Not to burn out, but to blaze with purpose. This departure is heaven's signature that your story is being rewritten in glory, to walk away from what's fading and watch me unfold what's forever. You feel it, don't you? That holy tension, the trembling on the inside when you consider what I'm asking you to leave behind. You whisper to me, God, I want to obey, but I can't see what's ahead. And I lean in close and say to you now, you don't have to see it because I've already gone before you. You're not walking into darkness. You're walking into a light that your eyes haven't adjusted to yet. What feels like uncertainty to your flesh is divine direction in the spirit. I've paved this path with my own presence. Every stone beneath your feet has been placed with prophetic precision. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into my known. This departure is not just blessed, it is ordered. And the author of your story never leaves a chapter unfinished. I've already moved into your tomorrow. I've already stood in the rooms you're afraid to enter. I've already whispered your name into conversations you haven't been invited to yet. You think you're starting from scratch, but you're really stepping into strategy. You think you're wandering, but I'm watching. Orchestrating divine appointments and heavenly collisions with people and places that have been waiting for your arrival. I didn't send you forward without provision. I sent provision ahead of you, and now I'm inviting you to follow the trail of peace I laid like breadcrumbs along the way. Every breath you take in this next season will reveal another layer of my plan. No, you won't have it all mapped out, but you will have me. And when you have me, you have everything. You're worried about the unfamiliar, but child, the familiar was slowly fading your fire. I would rather have you walk into mystery with me than remain in misery without me. I am the God who parts seas, not sidewalks. I am the God who commands the wind, not the spreadsheet. So let me lead you like I led Abraham, not with a destination, but with a declaration. And the declaration is this: I will not leave you where I found you. I will not keep you where it's safe, but stifling. I will not allow you to rot in the comfort zone of someone else's expectations. I am leading you out not because you failed, but because you followed. And now that you've heard my voice, you cannot stay where my presence has moved on. So walk, even if your knees shake. Trust, even if your mind fights it. Obey, even when the details are blurred. I am not a God of confusion. I am a God of covenant. And my covenant with you includes direction, protection, and promotion. The cloud has moved. The trumpet has sounded. The door is open. This is your Exodus moment. And what lies ahead is not empty space. It's divine alignment. Don't let the unknown intimidate you. Let it ignite you. Because I, your God, your shepherd, your defender, have already gone before you. And where I walk, miracles follow. My child, let me unravel something for you. Something holy. Something that will free you from the need to figure it all out. I know your mind longs for maps, for steps and signs and certainty. But I never asked you to navigate this next season with a blueprint. I didn't call you to chart the course. I called you to trust the voice. You're stepping into a place where logic can't lead you because logic doesn't know the language of the Spirit. What I'm doing in you and through you won't be found on a checklist. It won't be measured by how neatly your plans unfold. No, this next movement, this next miracle is marked by one thing alone: obedience. And obedience doesn't wait for everything to make sense. Obedience simply says, "Yes, Lord, even if I can't see where we're going." You see, I am not a GPS system. I'm a God who whispers in the wilderness, who walks in gardens and speaks in winds. I do not lead with lines, I lead with light. I light your path one step at a time, not so you will be confused, but so you will stay close. Because if I gave you a map, you'd be tempted to run ahead. You'd be tempted to trust the plan more than the person. But I want your ears, not your eyes. I want your yes, not your strategy. This place you're going, it's not on paper. It's not posted on any door. It's written in my heart. And I'm inviting you to listen like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your peace will come not from the plan, but from the proximity. So stay close, lean in, let my whisper become your compass. And let's be honest, haven't the maps failed you before? Haven't the timelines you built crumbled under the weight of disappointment? You followed plans that seemed perfect, but led to pain. You've mapped routes that looked wise, but led to weariness. And still I was there, rerouting, redeeming, restoring. But now I want to do something better, not predictable, not practical, not rough edited. I want to lead you in such a way that when you arrive, no one can say it was your brilliance, your branding, or your business plan. They'll have no choice but to say, "This was God." Because the journey will be too unusual, too beautiful, too supernatural to have come from human hands. I want your life to become a living wonder, not because you followed a map, but because you followed me. So tear up the itinerary, burn the spreadsheet, lay down your need to understand, and pick up your desire to obey. I am leading you not with landmarks, but with language. My language, and when you walk by my voice, you will arrive in places you never imagined. Places your feet couldn't turn, but your faith could access. The destination is not a location, it's a revelation. And you, my beloved, are about to walk straight into it, one obedient step at a time. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Beloved, I didn't come just to call you out of the old. I came to call you up into the real. This isn't just an exit, it's an elevation. I'm not simply pulling you from where you were, I'm summoning you into who you were always meant to be. And that climb doesn't begin with geography. It begins with identity. Because too long now you've been answering to names I never gave you. You've worn labels stitched by lies. You've carried roles shaped by rejection. But I didn't form you in the fires of eternity so you could shrink in the shadows of fear. You were never made for the middle. You were made to move in miracles. And that starts with shedding the skin of every false self you learned to wear just to survive. I know it felt easier to settle. I know it seemed safer to stay small, to not risk being seen, to not reach beyond what was predictable. But I didn't place my spirit in you so you could play it safe. I placed my spirit in you so you could shake nations, break chains, and resurrect dead things just by standing in your full identity. But you can't do that if you stay where fear keeps feeding you lies. You can't walk in firepower while still entertaining fear-based thinking. So today I say this: come up. Come up from the shallow waters of shame. Come up from the half-truths of your past. Come up from the ceilings you've built with insecurity. I didn't call you to build a palace in the pit. I called you to rise like light through the darkness, piercing, pure, powerful. You've believed too many lies for too long. That you're not equipped, that you're too broken, that you missed your moment. Lies, every one of them. I am not calling a perfect version of you. I'm calling the real you, the one who still dares to believe, the one who kept going when no one noticed, the one who stayed pure in a polluted world. I'm calling you because I trust you. Yes, you. Not just with purpose, but with power. Not just with ministry, but with miracles. But I cannot elevate what you still deny. And I will not endorse what you refuse to believe about yourself. So stand up in who I say you are. Not what they named you, not what they did to you, but what I whispered into your bones before you were born, chosen, set apart, ready. So rise. Rise in thought, rise in prayer, rise in courage, rise in calling. Don't just walk out of fear, ascend above it. You don't belong in limitation. You don't live in lack. Your spiritual address is higher, your identity is holy, and your future is not a maybe. It's a mandate. You are not only being called out, you are being called up. And every part of you that once shrank in shame is now being summoned by name to rise. My child, I see the fatigue in your soul. Not just the kind that sleep can cure, but the kind that silence has been shouting about. You've been carrying conversations in your heart that never bore fruit, reliving dialogues that left you depleted rather than delivered. The voices you allowed into your atmosphere were not all evil. Some were familiar, some were even well-meaning. But they began to shape your spirit in ways I never designed. And now I say to you, in the tenderness of truth and the authority of heaven, you are about to leave them behind. Not with resentment, not with rage, but with revelation. You are not exiting out of bitterness. You are exiting because the clarity I've given you has become too loud to ignore. There are conversations that were once safe, but have now turned into snares. Words that once comforted have now become cages. You've tried to maintain peace, but at the cost of your purpose. You've rehearsed the same emotional script just to keep the room from falling apart, all while your spirit has been weeping behind the curtain. But I didn't raise you to remain bound by loyalty to dysfunction. I didn't anoint you so your voice could be reduced to background noise in someone else's comfort zone. The cycle ends now, not because you're angry, but because you're awake. Awake to the truth that love does not mean losing yourself. That peace is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of divine alignment. And you, beloved, are stepping into alignment. There are relationships that broke you. Some shattered your trust. Others chipped away at your joy slowly, subtly, like water eroding stone. And yet you stayed, hoping your presence would change them, that your prayers would transform them. And yes, I heard every prayer. I caught every tear. I watched your heart stretch itself thin in the name of compassion. But compassion without boundaries becomes captivity. And now I am calling you out, not as a rebuke, but as a rescue. You are not abandoning people, you are answering purpose. You are not walking away from love, you are walking toward healing. And healing cannot happen in the same room where the wound was never acknowledged. I am not punishing you with separation. I am preparing you for elevation. So go with grace. Leave the conversations, the cycles, the relational weights that no longer match the rhythm of your calling. You don't have to make a scene. You don't have to issue a declaration. The clarity I've given you will speak louder than any goodbye, and that clarity will become your compass. You will no longer confuse connection with covenant. Not everyone can go where I'm taking you, and that's not rejection, that's refinement. The silence you walk into will be filled with my voice. The space you clear will be filled with my strategy. And the moment you release what I never asked you to carry, you'll finally feel the weightlessness of obedience. This is your moment to leave not in bitterness, but in blazing clarity. You've heard me say it, child. You are not stuck, and you are not late. You're about to leave what has limited you. But what if I told you your obedience in giving could unlock the same release for someone else? I am raising voices in the earth, prophetic streams like this one, to carry my word like rivers into dry lands. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are not donating. You are sowing into freedom. My word declares, he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Proverbs 11:25. And I will not let your generosity go unnoticed. I will multiply your seed, protect your storehouse, and pour back into you with fire and favor. This is more than support. It is a mantle of multiplication. So don't just receive this word, sow into it, carry it, activate it, give now. Let me settle something deep in your spirit, beloved. Not everyone is meant to understand the path I've carved for you. I know you've wrestled with it. The fear of being misunderstood, the weight of walking away from expectations that others built for you. You've tried to explain your obedience to people who never heard my voice in your wilderness. You've carried the pressure of making sure others felt comfortable about your calling. But I need you to hear me now. This is not their journey. This departure is not up for discussion. This shift was never designed for group consensus. What I've placed in you is too sacred, too specific, too tailor-made to be subjected to the approval of those who were never in the room when I whispered destiny into your soul. Yes, it will sting. Some will question you. Some will accuse you. Others will fall silent. Not because they don't care, but because they don't understand. But child, their silence is not your signal. My voice is. I didn't call you into this season to be liked. I called you to be led. And I am leading you by fire, not by familiarity. The people who once walked beside you may pause now, and that's okay. I am separating not to isolate you, but to insulate you. To wrap you in a divine cocoon where my voice becomes louder than their opinions. This is not abandonment. This is alignment. Some will misinterpret your exit as ego, but I see the tears behind your courage, the wrestle behind your decision. You're not leaving for pride, you're leaving for purpose. Think of Abraham. I told him to go without giving him all the details. He had to walk with questions, with uncertainty, with trembling trust, and so do you. But look what I did with his obedience. I built nations, I birthed promises, I turned his yes into legacy. And I will do the same with you. You don't need everyone's understanding. You only need my confirmation. Let them talk. Let them wonder. You don't owe anyone an explanation for a move that was divinely ordered. This is not about convincing the crowd. This is about following the cloud. And when the cloud moves, you move, even if you have to walk alone for a while. So stop apologizing for the fire I've placed in your bones. Stop shrinking your obedience to fit someone else's comfort level. I didn't call them to carry what I gave you, and I won't let their confusion dilute your commission. This leaving isn't about being dramatic, it's about being devoted. You're stepping out not because you're better, but because you're becoming. And every step you take in faith will be met by my presence. You may not have the crowd, but you have the cloud. You may not get a round of applause, but you will get a release. And that, my child, is all you'll need to keep walking with boldness, with peace, and with your head lifted high. Beloved, you added comfort to discomfort. You arranged the furniture of your life around temporary circumstances and convinced yourself, maybe this is where I'm meant to stay. But I, the Lord your God, have come to remind you that place, that season, that environment you're trying to make your home, it was never designed to be permanent. It was a passage, not a palace, a cocoon, not a calling. It was meant to shape you, not sustain you. And now the shaping is finished. The season is shifting, and I'm calling you to move. You were never supposed to build identity from transition, but I understand why you tried. When the road is long and the wait feels indefinite, the soul begins to adapt. It's easier to survive when you pretend it's not temporary. But I'm pulling the veil back now because your destiny cannot thrive in an environment designed only for testing. That hallway, that job, that relationship, that mindset, that stage of your spiritual walk, it served its purpose. It held your tears, it carved your patience, it revealed your capacity. But now its assignment is complete, and what once protected you has now begun to limit you. What once held you in process now threatens to hold you in paralysis. That is why I'm stirring your nest. That is why peace is withdrawing from once felt safe. Because I love you too much to let you build a home where you were only meant to pass through. You've been faithful in the hallway. I've watched you worship while you waited. I've heard your whispered prayers when all you saw were walls on either side. And yes, I saw when you cried because others seemed to be arriving while you stayed stuck in between. But child, what you called stuck, I called set apart. I was working in the waiting. I was preparing what couldn't be rushed. But now the door at the end of the hallway is opening. And I need you to let go of what you've tried to turn into permanent peace. Don't decorate the hallway. Don't settle into the space between when I've already prepared the space beyond. This is not the time to repaint the walls. This is the time to walk. This is the moment to pick up your mat, your heart, your trust, and move forward into the place that fits you. So hear me, beloved. Do not cling to the past just because it feels familiar. Don't call a hallway home. The door is opening, not just a physical door, but a spiritual one. And what's on the other side of your obedience is not just a new location, it's a new level. one where your anointing expands, one where your voice grows stronger, one where your identity is no longer shaped by waiting, but by walking in fullness. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust me. Leave the hallway. Don't mourn it. Don't memorialize it. Celebrate it for what it was, a holy in-between. And now step into what it's been preparing you for all along. Let me reveal something that heaven has known all along. You were never late. You were never forgotten. And that delay, the one that made you question your calling, that made you second-guess the words I once whispered into your soul, that delay was not a punishment. It was protection. It was me holding back the curtain. Not because you weren't worthy of the stage, but because the weight of the next was too heavy to carry until your foundation was fully laid. I wasn't keeping good things from you. I was keeping you from things that would have crushed you if they came too soon. Because premature exposure kills what has not been rooted. And I am far too invested in your longevity to let you walk into visibility before you were spiritually fortified for it. You asked me, why not now? When your heart was eager, you saw others released, celebrated, advancing, and you wondered if I had forgotten your name. But child, your name has been on my lips every single day. You are not an afterthought. You are a masterpiece in motion. And masterpieces require time. The weight of glory I designed you to carry could not be rushed. I needed to strengthen your spine, your discernment, your voice, not for survival, but for sustainability. Because what I'm sending you into now isn't light, it's legacy. And I will not place my legacy in the hands of the unprepared. I've been forming you in obscurity. I've been sharpening you in silence. And now the delay has served its purpose, and the release has been authorized. You are not who you were when you first started praying for this. You are wiser now. You know how to hear me through chaos. You know how to keep walking even when doors seem to close. You know how to worship in the dark. And now that you've been proven in private, I can trust you in public. The places you're going, the doors I'm opening, they require more than talent. They require depth. They require conviction. And they require someone who understands that it was never about arrival. It was always about alignment. That's what the delay did. It aligned your heart to beat with mine. And now I say to you, you are ready. So walk boldly, child. Don't carry the shame of delay like it's a mark of disqualification. It's your crown. It's proof that I preserved you. And now I'm launching you not into busyness, but into divine stewardship. You'll walk through doors others tried to force open, not because you manipulated your way in, but because you waited. And now your time has come, not by accident, but by appointment. The wait is over. The weight you now carry is holy. And what you're walking into will be proof that every delay was divine. My beloved, listen as I whisper your name over what you are about to release. There is a you I once knew, a version of you weighed down, bent, and beaten by concession. That version tolerated too much. You allowed voices to speak louder than my word. You bent your will around expectations that were never mine. You stayed where respect was conditional. You loved where loyalty was one-sided. And though your heart bore the armor of endurance, your spirit wore the scars of compromise. But I am calling you now, calling you back from that version. You are going to leave her behind. You must, for she cannot rise into this next season. She cannot carry the weight of my glory or receive the fullness of my promise. You are shedding the shackles of too much, too soon, too little. You are being remade. Do not misunderstand me. What you tolerated before was not your identity. It was your survival mode. You once believed that the price of peace was silence. You once measured your worth by your ability to adapt. You once convinced yourself that believing less would prevent disappointment. But I did not create you as a doormat. I did not fashion you for lowering. I created you for elevation. And now that I have made you aware, you cannot go back to that smaller version of you. The place where you settled was not the boundary of your blessing. It was a limit you accepted. And I say to you now, limit no more. I am recasting your pattern. I am rearranging your identity. The you who once bent under the weight of fear is being replaced by the you who will stand in fearless authority. The you who once whispered yes in compromise is being transformed into one who speaks destiny with boldness. Yes, leaving that version will hurt. Sometimes letting go of your old self feels exactly like mourning. You might reach out and touch the memory of that pain, and yes, the tears may come. But remember this, pain is the messenger of your transformation. Look closely at the fissures of your past, because right there, I am planting seeds of resurrection in you. I am birthing a version of you that simply cannot be broken by disappointment. The version that holds covenant above comfort. The one who believes fiercely, even when no visible evidence exists. The world may not understand this intense metamorphosis happening deep in your bones. But heaven says it clearly. It is time. That old you was essential for survival, but this new you is necessary to soar. The version you are leaving behind was never designed to carry the new weight of your destiny. And once your wings are ready, you were never meant to return to that smaller space. So leave her with grace. Leave her with gratitude. But leave her nonetheless. Now, beloved, lift up your head. Let the new you inhale the air of promise. Let your spirit expand with the very frequency of my kingdom. The you are becoming will not tolerate what you tolerated before. She will not settle for the shallow or the small. She will believe more, step further, love deeper, and walk higher. You will no longer compromise your inner peace just to maintain appearances. You will no longer dim your magnificent light so that others won't feel threatened by your presence. You will no longer whisper your dreams to make them seem safe to hear. No, you are entering a season of holy boldness. You are stepping into your own true magnitude, and I am handing you an identity. Not as an echo of what was, but as the original expression of my purpose in you. Move forward, leave backward, and become everything I've always whispered you would be. My child, do not fear this wilderness, this place that feels barren, confusing, and lonely. That wilderness is not my rejection, it is my roadway. It is the necessary corridor between where you were and where you are destined to be. The desert is not where I abandon my children. It is precisely where I lead them to cultivate deeper dependence, sharper faith, and more relentless trust. I led Moses through deserts, David through caves, and Mary through silent nights. I brought others through thirst so they would learn to drink only from me. I brought others through long waiting so they would learn to wrestle into authentic worship. And now, this wilderness is your proving ground, not your prison. You are not lost, you are being led. Yes, the way through looks hard. Yes, the terrain feels barren. Yes, the nights may feel endless. But do not confuse the wilderness with being forgotten. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. In this quiet space, your senses sharpen. You begin to hear my voice in the wind. You learn that provision appears where no bread exists. You learn that presence becomes your only provision. This is a lifeline. When comfort departs, my intimacy remains. Walk into the wilderness with expectation, not despair. Because I go before you. Even when the ground looks dry, I am watering the roots beneath the soil. Even when the stars seem hidden, my compass is still pointing. This is a journey of covenant, and I, the Lord your escort, will not walk away. Sometimes the wilderness feels chaotic. The wind shakes your faith, the dust clouds your vision, and the silence screams louder than your prayer. You will ask God, where are you? But I am not gone. I am closer than your next breath. The wilderness is my sanctuary if you allow it. The emptiness becomes my echo, and in the space where your strength runs out, my strength will begin. The promise on the other side of this journey is not for the faint of heart. It is for the soul who persevered, the one who refused to curse the desert, the one whose tears became altar fire. It is for you, and you will emerge not just intact, but as more than a conqueror. So rise in courage, rise in expectation, rise with each step, even when your legs shake. Let your faith march ahead of your fear. Let your heart obey, even when your logic falters. You are walking through the desert, but you are not walking without a destination. You are walking toward covenant, toward promise, toward the absolute fullness of your life. The wilderness will not last forever. It was never meant to. But from it, your greatest promise will come. And when you arrive, you will look back, not with regret, but with reverent gratitude, and say, "It led me to a place I would never have found otherwise." This journey is not your punishment. It is your path, and I walk before you, I walk with you, and nothing can stop what I have ordained to unfold in your life. Oh, beloved, I see the thoughts racing through your heart. Am I abandoning something important? Am I walking away too soon? Let me make this clear with heaven's authority. You are not running away. You are rising up. There is a difference between escape and elevation. And I, the Lord your God, am the one lifting you now. I've watched you kneel in places that no longer fit your growth. I've watched your spirit stretch against ceilings that were never meant to remain intact. You've been praying for clarity and signs, but do not confuse this quiet courage with disobedience. This isn't rebellion, it's resurrection. You are not running from something. You are ascending into something. You are rising, not because you are arrogant, but because your spirit has finally caught up with the reality of who you are. You played small long enough. You stayed loyal to limitations that were never part of my original design for you. While there was a time when staying still was the right choice, that time is over. This moment is not about rejection. It is about revelation. I am revealing the heights you were born to reach, and in that revealing, I am shaking off the dust of small thinking, shallow environments, and compromised faith. You cannot rise if you keep apologizing for it. You cannot soar if you're constantly asking for permission to leave the ground. I didn't call you to merely survive. I called you to ascend. I'm calling you upward, not to escape the pain of your past, but to enter the power of your purpose. You were not built for bondage, you were born for breakthrough. So lift your head, child. You're not abandoning, you're answering. Others may see you leaving and misinterpret it. They may say you've changed, and they are right, you have. Because change is the sound of obedience echoing through your bones. You no longer fit the spaces that once confined you. Your prayers have become too loud for muted rooms. Your worship has outgrown the shallow waters, and now I am lifting you into deeper, richer, wider realms of anointing. You will not stay grounded to appease those who refuse to grow. You will not shrink to keep peace with patterns I've broken off your life. What looks like leaving to them is actually launching in my eyes. And I, your Father, am your launching pad. I have become the wind beneath your surrender. You're not escaping, you're expanding. You're not running, you're rising. Stretch your wings. Don't be ashamed of your altitude. Don't explain away the elevation. I authorize this ascent. I am the one who opened the heavens over your head. The air up here may feel thinner, but it's purer. The company may be smaller, but it is sanctified. You were never meant to live at sea level. You were made to soar. So leave not in fear, but in flight. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Not with guilt, but with grace. You're not fleeing from chaos, you're flying into your calling. It's time. You are not running, you are ascending. My beloved, before you take another step into the unknown, let me settle one more thing in your soul. You are not leaving empty-handed. I know what the enemy whispered. I know what your fear tried to say, that if you walk away now, you'll have nothing left, that you'll lose all that you built, that you'll be left exposed. But I speak truth to your trembling heart right now. You are leaving full of wisdom, full of peace, full of everything I placed in you during the hidden seasons no one saw. What you are carrying now didn't come from man, it came from me. And I do not send my children into a promise without provision. You are walking away with treasure in your bones. You've been in training, even when you didn't know it. The silence you endured taught you how to hear me. The rejection you survived taught you how to recognize me. The waiting developed your discernment. The storms taught you authority. The warfare sharpened your worship. You are walking out with a spirit armed for the assignment ahead. You are not leaving behind the lessons, you are carrying them. They are packed within you like scrolls sealed in the Spirit, ready to unroll when the next season demands them. I've loaded you with language, clarity, boldness, and divine timing. You are not walking out as a refugee, you are walking out as a royal, and the royalty within you lacks nothing. You may be leaving people, a position, or old patterns, but what you are carrying cannot be revoked. The oil on your life doesn't run dry when the geography changes. If anything, your departure is the moment that activates what's already within you. You're walking in with hands loaded. You carry peace like a banner. You carry discernment like a shield. You carry my word like a sword. Don't second-guess the leap. Don't look back with doubt. The life you're leaving wasn't stolen from you. It was poured into you. Every moment in that old space contributed to what you now carry. And now that it's time to go, you go with more than memories. You go with a mantle, you go with a mandate, and you go with me. I am the God who equips. I am the God who fills. I am the God who sends. And I have packed your spirit with the exact arsenal needed for what's ahead. So step out, not wondering what you're losing, but celebrating what you are bringing. You are not walking into lack. You are walking into fulfillment. And you, my child, are not empty. You are prepared. Child, let me lift the guilt from your heart. The guilt that has crept in like a slow fog, whispering that if you walk away now, you are somehow betraying your purpose. I tell you with fire and tenderness, you are not abandoning anything. You are not leaving your assignment. You are stepping into the clarity of it. There is a part of your calling that is only just now becoming visible, and it could not rise while you remained planted in a field no longer producing fruit. I was not silent because I forgot you. I was silent because I was finishing the sentence, and now the sentence is ready to speak. The place you are leaving was the cradle of your becoming. It taught you grit, patience, and intercession. It birthed a language of faith from your own tears. But what was once a classroom has now become a cage. And I, the teacher, will not let the student remain when the graduation bell has rung. You're not walking out in failure. You're walking out in fulfillment. What you learned in the stillness, in the waiting, in the frustration, those lessons will now breathe inside the next season. They will not be wasted. Every moment was fertilizer. Every test was a seed. And now the harvest comes. Not because you stayed, but because you trusted me enough to leave. Your assignment was never just about a location, a title, or a role. It was about what I was building in you while you were there. And now I say this. The soil has done its job. The roots have taken hold. And the next step is not betrayal. It is birthing. You are not leaving the assignment behind. You are carrying it with you, reborn, reshaped, realigned. The depth you produced in that narrow place must now be poured out in new dimensions, among new people who are waiting for what has been maturing in your hidden season. So let your feet move without fear. Let your heart stop apologizing. This is not rebellion. This is revelation. The next part of your purpose is visible. You didn't miss it. You matured into it. And now that your ears are tuned, your heart is ready, and your oil is full, the very thing I called you to at the beginning is about to make sense. Go, not in shame, but in strategy. I am sending you not as one who failed, but as one who finally understands. And when your feet touch the soil of the next place, you will know this too was part of the assignment all along. Ah, beloved, feel this moment in your bones. This departure you are being drawn into. It isn't a frantic escape from the heat of pressure. This is something far more divine. You are not running from the fire. You are becoming it. The same flame that once felt like it would consume you has now been kindled inside of you. I have not called you out of that place because you couldn't take the heat. I am calling you because you are the heat now. You carry the fire. You embody the flame. And I need you in new places because darkness has spread too far. And you, yes, you are the one I've chosen to set rooms ablaze. You endured fires that would have burned others down. But in you, they forged refinement, boldness, and holy vision. You learned how to walk through flames with worship. You learned how to hold peace while everything around you collapsed. And now the fire is no longer around you. It is in you. It burns in your voice, in your eyes, in your intercession. You are a living ember of heaven's will. And that's why you must leave. Because you cannot stay where fire is feared. I've ignited you too deeply to let you be dimmed by comfort. You wonder why conversations feel shallow now, why familiar rooms feel suffocating. It's because the fire in you demands space. It requires air. It has outgrown the context where it was born. I didn't light you just so you could be a cozy campfire for the comfortable. I lit you to be a wildfire of awakening for the hungry. And wildfires move, they spread, they don't apologize for their presence, they burn because they were born to burn. I say this to you now, you are leaving not because you're exhausted, but because you are ignited. And my fire cannot be boxed, it must move. So burn, child, burn bright, burn holy, burn loud. Your departure is your declaration. You are not fleeing weakness, you are carrying fire. You are not walking out weary, you are walking out lit. The flame I lit in your wilderness will now set other captives free. So leave, but do not leave in shame or silence. Leave like a flame leaves dry wood, unstoppable, undeniable, and absolutely divine. Oh, my beloved, I know what you're feeling even now. That unsettling hush after the decision has been made, that awkward stillness that follows the goodbye. It feels like you're floating in midair, doesn't it? Like you've left what was but haven't yet landed in what's next. Do not fear this silence. It is not emptiness. It is not absence. It is not a sign that I've gone quiet because you made the wrong move. No, this silence is intentional. I'm clearing the noise, not to confuse you, but to cultivate you, because what I want to speak next must not be diluted by the voices you just walked away from. I'm not punishing you with quiet. I'm preparing to thunder with clarity. You've been surrounded by sound for so long that silence now feels threatening. But now that you've left, the silence settles like a mist, and you wonder, was that the right move? You begin to question, but child, this pause is not about regret, it's about recalibration. I'm drawing you into a new frequency, one that can't be caught in chaos. I want you to recognize my whisper without interference. I want you to hear me in a way you never could when your life was loud. The silence is sacred. It is a womb of new revelation. And yes, it feels empty, but it is full of me. Remember when Elijah stood in the cave? A wind came, a fire came, but I was in the whisper. So too I'm calling you into the stillness, not to leave you alone, but to reintroduce myself. Because where I'm taking you next will require greater sensitivity, sharper discernment, and deeper trust. The silence you feel is not punishment, it is presence. It's just quieter than you're used to. Don't rush to fill the void. Sit in the quiet, breathe in the stillness. Let me adjust your ears to this new rhythm. I am closer now than ever before, but I'm speaking in depth, not in decibel. And soon, beloved, the silence will break, not with the sound of chaos, but with the voice of destiny. And you will recognize it because you took the time to tune in, because you resisted the urge to run back to noise, because you trusted me enough to be still in the in-between. And when I speak, it will not be a suggestion. It will be direction, anointing, and strategy all at once. And you'll know with every fiber of your being that the silence wasn't empty after all. It was me preparing, igniting, and loving you into clarity. So don't curse the quiet. Let it become the sacred sound of me making room to speak louder than I ever have before. You're not just leaving fear, you're leaving it forever. And just as I am transforming you, I'm sending this message to transform others. When you support this prophetic well through any means, you become the one who sends light into someone else's wilderness. You become part of the miracle movement of my word. Just as I promised in Malachi 3:10, bring the whole tithe and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing. Your giving becomes firewood on the altar, sustaining the flame that sets captives free. You aren't just supporting a message, you are extending a mandate. So, move now. Don't wait. Let your giving echo the truth. I'm not going back. Sow now, and watch what I return to you. Let me speak this to you with fierce love, child. When you leave this time, leave completely. No partial departures, no emotional leftovers, no spiritual just-in-case clauses. This move I'm calling you into is not a trial run. It's a holy severing. If you leave and still tether your soul to the places I've called you out of, you'll never walk fully into what I've prepared for you. There are some bridges that were never meant to be crossed twice. There are some goodbyes that are supposed to stick. I'm not calling you to abandon people, but to abandon permission for the past to still pull on your present. Partial obedience creates prolonged delay. You've done it before. You walked out physically, but your heart stayed behind. You closed the door but left it cracked. But this time is different. I am putting holy scissors in your hand and saying, cut the cord. Not because you're heartless, but because you are being healed. You can love what was and still leave it. You can honor it and still outgrow it. And this time, I want your whole heart to come with you. I know the temptation to look back. I know the emotional gravity that tugs when memories scream louder than momentum. But remember Lot's wife. Don't let your destiny be petrified by divided devotion. You cannot step into your next if you're still fantasizing about your last. Remind your soul you're not going back, not because it was all bad, but because it was blessed. The grace has lifted, and where grace lifts, you must leave. Walk out and don't turn around. Not in your mind, not in your emotions, not in your late night wondering. Leave completely. I'm not giving you a new beginning so you can drag the baggage of the old one into it. The next requires your full yes. And I'm not just looking for movement, I'm looking for finality. When you say yes this time, let it echo through every corner of your life. And I promise you this, what I lead you into will not make you miss what you left. Because what's ahead is not a replacement, it's resurrection. And it's waiting for the version of you who dares to leave without looking back. My beloved, don't underestimate what's truly happening here. This departure is not only physical. What you're truly leaving behind is a mindset, a way of thinking that used to feel like home, a pattern of interpreting your worth, your potential, your identity. I say to you now with sacred urgency, when your mind shifts, everything else has to follow. Atmospheres respond to mental awakening. Rooms that once felt cozy suddenly feel too small. Relationships that once seemed necessary now feel misaligned. Why? Because your mind has moved. And when your mind relocates, your soul can no longer pretend to stay still. You tolerated things before because your mind said you had to. You stayed silent because your mindset whispered you were too much, too little, or just not enough. But now I've begun the rewiring in you. I've exposed the lies you've lived under, the false ceilings, the inner vows, the soul agreements that whispered, don't ask for more, stay where it's safe. But that was never my voice. That was fear. That was trauma. That was the residue of a world that tried to teach you limitations. I am now dismantling that internal narrative. You are no longer thinking as a slave, you are thinking as royalty. You are no longer accepting shame as normal. I placed a new pattern inside your mind, one born not from self-help, but from spirit help. And with every shift in your thought life, your environment must adjust. When others notice, they will say, you've changed. And you respond, yes, thank God I have. Because the renewal of your mind has initiated the revival of your reality. Don't go back mentally. Don't revisit the mindsets that change you. When shame knocks, don't answer. When smallness whispers, don't listen. When fear tries to build a tent in your thoughts, don't offer it a bed. This isn't just relocation, it's revelation. You are rising into the mind of Christ. This is why I had to pull you out. Because you can't think like freedom and live like a prisoner. You can't talk like victory and dwell in defeat. So leave. Not just physically, leave mentally. Leave the mindset. Leave the old beliefs and watch as your whole atmosphere bows to the transformation that began in your mind. Let me mark this moment for you, child. This is the last time you'll leave like this. You've left before, yes, with fear curled in your belly, with what if echoing in your lungs. You departed with trembling hands and clouded vision, and yet you still moved, and for that I honor your obedience. But I'm sealing something eternal into your spirit this time because I don't want you to keep repeating the same exit. This right here is the last time you'll leave in fear. The next time you leave, it will be with fire in your bones and power in your mouth. This departure is not weak. It may feel fragile, but it is fierce. Because you're leaving not with perfect clarity, but with perfect yielding. And even as your voice quivers, I am roaring behind it. I am teaching you something divine. That fear doesn't mean stop. It means your faith is working. You think this fear is a flaw, but I say to you it's a sign that you're pushing through familiar thresholds and stepping into unfamiliar dominion. Even though your hands may tremble now, I promise they are being trained for war. But hear me. This isn't your forever. You won't always feel afraid when it's time to leave. That's what I am breaking off of you now. This moment is the last one where fear gets to hold your hand on the way out. This is the final season where doubt gets a seat in your decision-making. Because I am filling you with the unshakable kind of confidence, the kind that knows who sent you, the kind that doesn't second-guess a step once the Spirit speaks. You won't always need confirmation after confirmation. You won't always stall until the pain becomes unbearable. I'm teaching you to move with power, to obey with immediacy, to discern with precision, to leave with authority. So finish this exit well. Let it be a memorial. Let it be the line in the sand. Look around. Remember how it feels to leave with questions in your throat. Because the next time I call you to move, you will remember this, and you will realize you've grown. And you'll walk out with your shoulders back, your voice strong, your spirit settled. You'll carry not just obedience, but anointing. This is not your last exit, but it is the last time you exit like this. I'm raising you into boldness. Come close, beloved. That place you're leaving, the one you thought was a finish line, the one you fought to stay in. It wasn't the final destination, it was preparation. I know that might shake you. I know it might feel unfair, but what you thought was the mountain peak was really just a training ground in disguise. And that's why I'm asking you to walk away now. Because the place you once saw as your ending is simply the place where your becoming reached its next threshold. You've outgrown the illusion. You thought arriving there meant the promise was fulfilled. But soon after, something shifted. The joy faded, the fire dimmed, and the space that once felt like a miracle started to feel like a mirror, showing you what you still carried, what still needed to be healed. That place wasn't punishment. It was purpose. I brought you there not to settle, but to shape. And now what you thought was the end of your story is being redefined as the middle. That's not failure. That's faithfulness. I never intended for you to die in preparation. I intended for you to graduate from it. Somewhere along the journey, you mistook comfort for confirmation. and I let you rest there for a season because I am kind. But I always knew this would be temporary. I always knew I'd have to come back for you, not because you disobeyed, but because you deserved more. I let the grace on that place begin to lift, not to punish you, but to provoke your spirit to move again. Because if I didn't stir you, you would have made a destination out of development. But the assignment that rests on your life demands stewardship of every ounce of growth, wisdom, and fire you gained while you were there. So don't mourn what you're leaving. Don't idolize the season. Don't freeze frame what was only meant to be a passage. What you thought was the promise was actually just the preparation for the promise. And what I'm bringing you into now is not just bigger. It's truer. It's aligned with the real you I've been awakening. When you truly arrive, you'll look back and see that I wasted nothing. That what you thought was the destination was just the beginning of the real promise. The deep one, the wide one, the one that doesn't just bless you, but blesses through you. Oh, my child, I know your heart is focused on where you're going, the destination, the open door. You ask me, Lord, what is next? Where am I heading? But I want you to pause, not to worry about where your feet will land, but to understand what I'm doing inside you while you walk. Because this isn't just about arrival, it's about becoming. This journey isn't just taking you to a new place, it's transforming you into a new person. And if you only focus on the geography, you'll miss the miracle of your own transformation. Bring to mind the storms that I calmed with a single word. I'm not just talking about the squalls on the water, but the raging tempests inside you. Think of the hurricane of anxiety that threatened to tear your mind apart, or the waves of grief that crashed over you again and again until you truly thought you would be consumed. And then, right in the middle of all that chaos, a sudden stillness. A quiet peace that made no logical sense. That was me speaking into your spirit. Peace. Be still. My voice is more powerful than any storm, internal or external. The same authority that calms your anxious heart today is the authority that will calm the challenges of your new environment tomorrow. And please, cherish the moments of quiet stillness. Life with me isn't always about dramatic rescues and mountaintop experiences. Some of our most profound moments have been in the silence, haven't they? The early morning, just you and me before the world woke up. That quiet drive where you were suddenly so overwhelmed with my love, you had to pull over. Those quiet moments are the bedrock of our relationship. A deep, abiding sense of my presence is portable. It is not packed in a box, it is sealed in your spirit. Reflect on the lessons that were painfully carved from your past hardships. Every scar you bear is a map of a place I have brought you from. Every mistake became a classroom. You learned wisdom, you learned grace, you learned what truly matters. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago. You are stronger, wiser, and more compassionate because of what you walked through. Those lessons are your essential equipment for this next leg of the journey. And finally, never forget the miracles, both great and small. The parted seas and the daily bread. The times I healed your body and the times I healed your heart. The times I sent a stranger with the exact word you needed to hear. My signature of love is written all over your past. Open your eyes and see the pattern. It is a pattern of unwavering, relentless faithfulness. And that, my child, is the same pattern I am weaving into your future. My child, listen to me very carefully, for this is a truth must anchor your soul to. In all the chaos of this transition, amidst all the shifting sands of change, there is one thing that is absolute, eternal, and immovable: my love for you. This transition does not alter my affection for you by one single degree. Let me be perfectly clear. My love is not located in the city you are leaving. It is not attached to the job you are quitting or the house you are selling. It is not dependent on the approval of the people you are saying goodbye to. My love is not a feature of your environment. It is the very essence of your being, because you are mine. You are the carrier of my love. Therefore, moving your physical body from one point on a map to another does nothing to diminish the ferocious, tender, and all-consuming fire of my love for you. It goes where you go. Distance cannot diminish the covenant I have made with you. You may feel that you are moving far away, that miles will somehow create a gap between us. But you must understand, there is no distance in the Spirit. The promises I whispered to you in your old home are just as true in your new one. The covenant I sealed with you was not a rental agreement tied to a specific property. It is an eternal blood pact, an unbreakable bond between my heart and yours. Whether you are 10 steps away or 10,000 miles across an ocean, you are still held securely in the palm of my hand. You can never move so far that you could ever move away from me. My love is not based on your location, but on your identity as my child. This is the core truth you must cling to. When you feel like a stranger, when your new surroundings make you feel small and insignificant, you must remember who you are. You are a son, a daughter of the Most High God. That is your passport. That is your citizenship. That is your truest identity. And it is recognized in every corner of heaven and earth. Everything else is temporary. Your identity in me is eternal. It is this unchanging love that casts out all fear of the unknown. Fear is the enemy's primary weapon in a season of transition. It will whisper that you won't be accepted. It will scream that you will be forgotten. It will try to convince you that you are making the biggest mistake of your life. But fear is a liar and a coward. It cannot survive in the blazing light of my perfect love. So when you feel that cold grip of fear on your heart, you must fight back. Do not entertain it. Do not give it a seat at your table. You must stand up and declare the truth out loud. I am unconditionally and eternally loved by my Father. He is with me. He is for me. I have nothing to fear. Speak my love as a weapon and watch as fear dissolves like mist in the morning sun. My love precedes you, surrounds you, and follows you. Picture it now. An army of my love has already gone before you into this new land, preparing the way, softening the ground, arranging divine encounters. Another army of my love is surrounding you right now, a shield and a fortress against any attack. And a third army of my love is your rear guard, following behind you, protecting you from any lingering regrets or accusations from your past. You are completely and utterly enveloped. There is no angle from which you can be attacked that my love has not already covered. This is why you can move forward with confidence. You are not building this new season on the shaky foundation of a new job, a new house, or new friendships. You are building it upon the bedrock of my unchanging love. That, my precious child, is the very foundation upon which your next victorious season is being built. It is the only ground that is truly safe. My child, I want to transform the way you see this act of leaving. In your human understanding, leaving is often seen as a loss, an ending, a painful separation. And while it contains elements of that, from my perspective, it is something far deeper, far more powerful. Every departure that I ordain is a sacred invitation into a deeper level of trust. It is me extending my hand to you and asking, do you trust me enough to let go of what you can see, to follow me into what only I can see? When you say yes, when you take that step away from the familiar shore, you are activating a faith that moves mountains. You are moving from a faith that simply believes in me to a faith that actively follows me. And that is where the adventure truly begins. This is not just a geographical move. It is a profound spiritual promotion. Leaving is not an end, but a turning of a page in the beautiful epic story I am writing with your life. You are not closing the book. The story is not over. In fact, it is just getting to the most exciting part. The characters, the setting, the plot, it's all about to shift in a way that will reveal more of my character and more of yours. You have been faithful in the previous chapter, and now I am entrusting you with a new one, filled with new challenges and new triumphs. Do not mourn the turning of the page as if it were the end. Anticipate the new words I am about to write on the parchment of your heart. Understand that this is a divine pruning designed to bring forth more fruit in you. In any garden, for a plant to reach its full potential, the gardener must sometimes cut away good branches. It seems harsh, it seems like a loss. But the gardener knows that this pruning will redirect the plant's energy, leading to a more abundant, more beautiful harvest later on. This leaving may feel like I am cutting away parts of your life that you love, but I am the master gardener. I see the fruit you are capable of bearing, a harvest of love, joy, and peace that you cannot yet imagine. I am pruning you for a purpose, and that purpose is greater abundance. This is a profound act of faith, releasing what is familiar to grasp what is promised. You are letting go of predictable comforts, established relationships, and a comfortable routine. You are trading the currency of certainty for the currency of promise. This is the essence of our walk together. It is the path all my great saints have walked. You are in good company, my child. You are walking a holy and time-honored path. I have called my people to be pilgrims in this world, not settlers. Your soul was not designed to put down such deep roots in the soil of this earth that you cannot imagine leaving. Your true home, your ultimate destination, is me. This world is a temporary assignment, a training ground, and sometimes, to remind you of your pilgrim status and to advance my kingdom, I must ask you to pack your tent and move to a new location. Do not cling to the temporary as if it were the eternal. Hold it loosely. This allows me to move you where you will be most effective for my purposes. Therefore, see this moment for what it is, a holy separation onto a new and greater purpose. You are being consecrated, set apart. You are stepping away from the life you knew to embrace the life I have chosen. It is a sacred act, an act of worship, and your obedience is a fragrant offering that fills the courts of heaven with joy. Walk forward knowing this is not just a move. This is a holy moment. My child, do not turn away now. We have only just begun to uncover the sacred purpose behind this calling, and my heart aches to reveal the rest. To stop listening here would be to accept a journey, but refuse the map, leaving my spirit to grieve the guidance I am so desperate to give you. Please stay, let me finish speaking. My child, as you prepare to leave, we must talk about what you are packing. Not just the physical boxes, but the baggage of your heart. If you are to travel freely and lightly into the future I have for you, There are things you absolutely must leave behind. This is not a suggestion, it is a command born of my love for you. First and foremost, you must leave behind the crushing weight of past regrets. I want you to picture a heavy, overstuffed suitcase. Inside are all your mistakes, the words you wish you could take back, the failures that still whisper your name in the dark. I want you to walk over to the cross right now in your spirit and set that suitcase down. Do not just leave it there. Open it and hand every single item to me. I have already paid the price for every one of them. They are forgiven. They are finished. They have no place and no visa for the new territory we are entering. To carry them with you would be an insult to my grace and a crippling burden on your journey. You must release the comfort of the familiar. I know how seductive it is, the known streets, the predictable conversations, the easy rhythm of your life. But comfort, my child, can become a beautiful cage. It keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. I am calling you out of the cage. It will feel vulnerable at first. It will feel exposed, but I am not calling you to a life of perpetual discomfort. I am calling you to trade a lesser comfort for a greater one. The exhilarating comfort of walking in the center of my will, where true life is found. I have new joys, new routines, and new comforts waiting for you that will make your old ones pale in comparison. But you cannot receive them if your hands are still clinging desperately to what you are leaving. Open your hands. Let it go. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. It is absolutely essential that you let go of the opinions of those who do not understand your calling. The moment you chose to follow me, you signed up for a life that will often be misunderstood by the world. There will be people, some of whom you love, who will question this move. They will call you irresponsible, foolish, or impulsive. Their words, born of their own fear or lack of vision, can feel like arrows to your heart. You must decide right now to pull those arrows out and leave them behind. Their approval is not your destination. My approval is your everything. You cannot navigate by my voice while trying to listen to the chorus of dissenting opinions. Bless them, love them, and then release their words. You have an audience of one, and I am applauding your courage. Surrender your fear of failure. This is one of the heaviest pieces of baggage you carry. The terror of not measuring up, of getting it wrong, of falling flat on your face in this new place. Let me set you free with this truth. Your success is not determined by the outcome. It is determined by your obedience. The very act of you going is the success. Your victory was secured the moment you said yes to me. My definition of success is so different from the world's. It has to do with faithfulness, with trust, with a heart that is fully yielded to me. As long as you are holding my hand, you simply cannot fail in the ways that truly matter. And finally, you must untie the soul tethers to places and things that would hold you back. There are invisible ropes tying you to the past. An unhealthy attachment to a relationship, a dependence on a certain income, an addiction to the approval you get here. Take the sword of my spirit, which is my word, and be ruthless. Cut every single cord that keeps you from being fully free to follow me. You are meant to soar, my child. It is time to cut the ropes. As you stand amidst the physical boxes and the emotional chaos of packing, let us focus on what truly matters. We have spoken of what you must leave behind. Now let us speak of the essential provisions you must carry for the spiritual journey ahead. This is your spiritual survival kit, and every item is non-negotiable. Do not pack these things away in a suitcase. You must wear them, carry them, and live in them every single moment of every single day. First, you must carry with you the shield of faith. This is not a passive ornament, my child. It is an active, formidable defense. The moment you step into this new territory, the enemy will begin to launch his flaming arrows. They will come in the form of thoughts like, "You made a mistake. No one here will ever love you. You're not good enough for this." He will shoot arrows of loneliness, insecurity, and overwhelming discouragement. Your faith, your active, moment-by-moment trust in my goodness, my power, and my unwavering promises to you is the shield that will meet those arrows mid-flight and extinguish their flames. When a fiery thought attacks, you must consciously lift this shield by declaring, "No, that is a lie. I believe what my God says about me." Practice this. It will become your most vital reflex. Next, you must pack the unshakable hope that is an anchor for your soul. Hope in my kingdom is not wishful thinking. It is the absolute ironclad certainty that I am good and that I am working all things together for your good. This transition will bring storms. There will be days of confusion and nights of doubt where the waves of circumstance will threaten to capsize you. In those moments, your hope is the heavy anchor that you must drop deep into the bedrock of my character. It will hold you fast and keep you from being swept away by the turbulent currents of your feelings or your situation. This hope is your stabilizer, your guarantee that the storm will not have the final word. I will, and my word is always one of redemption and purpose. So wrap yourself in the garment of praise, for this is your weapon against the spirit of despair. There will be mornings you wake up and a heavy gray blanket of sadness will try to smother you. You will feel no reason to be thankful. In those precise moments, you must make a choice. You must intentionally cast off the rags of despair and clothe yourself in praise. Force your lips to speak my goodness. Sing a song of worship even when your heart is aching. This is not denial, it is warfare. Praise is the royal garment of a child of the King, and it confuses the enemy and sends him fleeing. It shifts the very atmosphere from one of oppression to one of victory. You must take up the sword of my word. This is the one item that is both your defense and your offense. When you feel weak, it is your source of strength. When you feel confused, it is your source of clarity. When you are tempted, it is your weapon of resistance. Do not let your Bible sit at the bottom of a moving box for a week. On the very first night in your new place, before you do anything else, find it, open it. Let my voice be the first voice to fill that new space. My word will be the lamp that illuminates the very next step when the entire path ahead is dark. Speak it out loud. Let its truth silence the lies that echo in an empty room. And you must fill your spirit with forgiveness. As you walk into this new season, you will need an abundant supply. You will need it for yourself because you will make mistakes as you adjust. You will need it for others who may misunderstand you or fail you. Unforgiveness is a poison that you drink, hoping the other person will be harmed. It will pollute your new beginning and block the flow of my grace. So I command you, forgive quickly, forgive freely, forgive completely. Keep your heart clean and open. Lastly, bring the oil of joy. My joy, not the world's fleeting happiness. My joy is a supernatural strength that flows from my spirit within you, independent of your circumstances. It is the fuel for this journey. You must learn to draw from this well every day, anointing your mind with joyful thoughts, celebrating small victories, and choosing to see the good. This joy will make you resilient. It will make you radiant. It will be the evidence to all you meet that you serve a good and glorious God. Now let's talk about your greatest fear in all of this. The fear of getting lost, of taking a wrong turn, of not knowing what to do next. I want to remove that fear from you right now by giving you this promise. You will not be without direction. But you must understand how I guide. I am not going to simply hand you a map or a detailed step-by-step itinerary. A map is a static thing, and our journey is a living one. A map cannot adjust to unforeseen obstacles or unexpected opportunities. So I give you something infinitely better. I do not just show you the way. I am the way. Your guidance is not found in a set of rules or a rigid plan. It is found in a dynamic, intimate relationship with me. As long as you are walking with me, you are by definition walking in the right way. Your primary focus should not be on figuring out the path, but on staying close to the guide. If you make staying close to me your number one priority, I promise you will never be truly lost. To help you stay on this path, I have given you a flawless internal compass, my Holy Spirit who dwells within you. He is your constant companion, your counselor, your guide. You must learn to cultivate a sensitivity to his voice. He speaks not in a booming shout, but in a gentle whisper, a quiet knowing, a subtle nudge in your spirit. He will often communicate through a profound sense of peace. When you are considering a right decision, it will feel like a deep inner alignment, a calm yes in your soul. Conversely, when you are considering a wrong turn, he will often bring a feeling of unrest, a subtle check, a feeling that something is off. Do not ignore these spiritual signals. They are more reliable than your logic, your emotions, or the advice of others. That inner witness is my primary way of leading you from the inside out. Trust it. But I will not limit my guidance to that alone. I will speak to you in a multitude of ways, confirming my direction for you. I will speak to you through my word. A scripture you have read 100 times will suddenly leap off the page, shining with new relevance for your exact situation. This is why you must remain in my word daily. I will speak to you through the wise counsel of the new community I am giving you. I will place people in your path who have the wisdom you need for a particular moment. And yes, I will even speak to you in your dreams and in the quiet visions of your heart. Be an attentive listener. Expect to hear from me. I am not a distant God who has left you to find your own way. I am a communicative Father longing to lead you into all the good things I have prepared. And know this for certain, you do not travel this road alone. I have commissioned my angel armies to guard you in all your ways. They are a heavenly escort, dispatched to clear obstacles you will never even know existed, to protect you from dangers seen and unseen, and to go before you and prepare the hearts of those you are meant to meet. You are surrounded by a level of support and protection that is beyond your comprehension. There will inevitably come a moment of intense confusion, a crossroads where every path looks foggy, and you will feel a rising panic, a desperate need to do something. In that exact moment, your instruction is to do nothing. Stand still. Cease your striving. Silence the frantic voices of fear and pressure. In that sacred pause, you will hear my whisper behind you, saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." My clearest direction is often found not in frantic activity, but in profound stillness. And understand, I will not always unroll the blueprint for the next 5 years. Most of the time, I will only illuminate the very next stone on the path. That is the nature of a walk of faith. It requires you to trust me with the destination, while you are obedient with the single step I am showing you right now. Do not be anxious about the steps you cannot see. Just take the one I have made clear. I promise, when your foot lands, the light for the next one will appear. My child, we must speak plainly about the reality of this journey. Because I love you, I will not send you out unprepared. I want you to be as wise as a serpent and as gentle as a dove. You must anticipate that the enemy of your soul will challenge this move with everything he has. Do not be naive. The moment you take one step to advance my kingdom, you declare war on the kingdom of darkness. He will not simply stand by and applaud your obedience. He will resist you. So when unexpected difficulties arise, when the paperwork gets lost, when a conflict erupts with a new neighbor, when you feel an overwhelming wave of homesickness, do not be surprised. Do not immediately assume you have made a mistake or that you have misheard me. Instead, I want you to recognize the resistance for what it is, a confirmation. It is proof that you are a threat to the enemy's territory. It is a sign that you are on the right path. Expect the battle, and when it comes, stand your ground clothed in the authority I have given you. One of his most potent and predictable weapons against you will be the whisper of loneliness. In the quiet moments, in the space between the familiar and the new, he will try to convince you that you are utterly alone. He will say that no one understands, that you have been forgotten by those you left behind, and that you will never truly belong here. This is a cruel and calculated lie designed to isolate you and cut you off from your source of strength. When that whisper comes, you must fight it with the truth. You are part of a global, eternal family. You are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, the saints who have gone before you, cheering you on. You are indwelt by my Spirit, and you have angel armies at your disposal. Declare it out loud. I am not alone. My God is with me, and I am part of the family of heaven. The truth, spoken with authority, will silence that lie. Another arrow he will fire is doubt. He will try to make you question your decision, my goodness, and my very presence. When the fog of doubt rolls in, your primary defense is to recount my history of faithfulness in your life. This is why remembering is a spiritual discipline. Give a reckoning. Write down the answered prayers. List the moments of my miraculous provision. Recount the times you were at your end and I made a way. Your personal testimony, the story of my faithfulness to you, is a powerful weapon that the enemy cannot refute. You must confront his hypothetical, fear-based what-ifs with the solid, undeniable evidence of what I have already done. And please, my child, understand the difference between a season of waiting and a sign of my absence. After the initial excitement of the move, there may come a season where it feels like nothing is happening. You've been obedient, you've arrived, but the grand purpose is not yet clear. Do not mistake this quiet, hidden season for my displeasure or my absence. I am the God of the soil, and I am often doing my most important work beneath the surface, establishing deep roots in you before there is any visible growth. Do not despise these seasons of waiting. They are profoundly strategic. I will not ask you to face these battles by yourself. I will place other believers on your new path, and it is your responsibility to find them and connect with them. Do not allow pride or shyness to keep you isolated. You were designed for community. You will need the strength of their prayers, the wisdom of their experience, and the comfort of their fellowship. Seek out your new spiritual family with intention. They are part of my provision for you, and through all of this, you must hold on to an eternal perspective. This momentary trial, this uncomfortable transition, is not the end of the story. It is forging in you an eternal weight of glory that far outweighs the present difficulty. Every tear, every struggle, every moment of choosing faith over fear is being woven into the tapestry of your eternal reward. This struggle is not pointless. It is producing something in you that will last forever. My child, let us lift our eyes beyond the challenges of the transition itself and focus on the profound purpose behind it. This move is not an escape, and it is not a retirement. It is a divine deployment. You are being sent. I want you to understand the nature of the new assignment I have prepared specifically for you. It is not primarily about you finding a more comfortable life, a better job, or a nicer house. Those things may be a part of it, but they are secondary. The primary reason you are going is this. You are to be my hands and feet in a place that is in desperate need of my touch. You are an extension of my very being, an emissary of my heart. I am sending you to be my hands that will offer practical help to the weary, my feet that will walk into places of brokenness, and my voice that will speak words of life and hope to the discouraged. See yourself not as a person starting a new life, but as my solution entering a place of need. I am sending you as a bearer of my light into a community where shadows have grown long. Do not be intimidated by any darkness you may encounter, be it cynicism, despair, addiction, or spiritual apathy. You carry the light of the world within you. Your job is not to fight the darkness. Your job is simply to shine. You do this by living a life of integrity, by showing kindness when it is not deserved, by maintaining your peace in the midst of chaos. When you, my child, enter a room, my presence enters with you, and where my presence is, darkness cannot remain. It must flee. You are a walking, breathing lighthouse, and I am the inextinguishable flame within you. Your testimony, the unique story of your life, will become a bridge for others to find me. The very parts of your past that you were once ashamed of, the struggles, the failures, the deep pain, are the things I am going to anoint. I will transform your wounds into sources of healing for others. When you share with vulnerability how I met you in your brokenness, it will build a bridge of hope into the hearts of people who feel too broken to ever be loved. Your story is one of my most powerful evangelistic tools. Be ready to share it. This is a strategic positioning for a divine appointment. I see the whole chessboard of human history, and I am moving you, my precious child, to a very specific square for a very specific reason. There is a person I want you to meet, a project I want you to join, an opportunity that will only be available in that place at this time. It may not make sense to you from your limited perspective, but from my vantage point, your relocation is a crucial move in my grander plan. Trust that I am positioning you with the precision of a master strategist. The skills and gifts I have given you have been custom designed for this new season. That passion in your heart, that unique talent you possess, the thing you do that makes you feel most alive, that is not an accident. I have been cultivating those gifts in you for years, not just for your own enjoyment, but as tools for my kingdom. In this new place, you will find opportunities to use those gifts in ways you never have before. Your assignment will not feel like a burdensome duty. It will feel like a joyful and fulfilling expression of exactly who I created you to be. Therefore, you must change your mindset. You are not arriving as a refugee hoping for a handout. You are not an immigrant timidly asking for acceptance. You are an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven. You arrive in this new land carrying the full authority, backing, and resources of your king. You are there to represent my interests, to demonstrate my character, and to extend my offer of reconciliation to the people you meet. So I say to you, walk in the full authority of your sonship. Do not shrink back. Do not be intimidated. Lift your head high, not with arrogance, but with the quiet confidence of one who knows who they are and who it is that sent them. Your new assignment has begun. I have just commissioned you as my ambassador, my chosen one for this new territory. Would a soldier truly walk away while their king is still giving them the strategy for victory? It would wound me deeply to see you enter this new land only partially equipped. Hear the rest of my counsel. Your preparedness is precious to me. Just as I am sending you on a new assignment, I have sent this ministry to be a beacon for my other children who are about to leave their own shores in fear. If your heart burns to see this divine briefing reach them, then know that I am inviting you to co-labor with me in this moment. Your gift is a seed that multiplies this message, becoming a river of my word that finds the one who feels lost and unsent. I declare over your obedience what I have promised. Test me in this, and see if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing you cannot contain. For every soul your seed touches, a harvest of joy will be credited to your account. This is a divine appointment to fund the mission. Sow your seed now through Super Thanks or membership with the link below, and watch as I multiply your gift for my glory. My precious one, I know that one of the deepest aches in this process of leaving is the fear of losing your community. The thought of starting over, of building relationships from scratch, can feel completely exhausting and overwhelming. So I want you to listen closely and let my words soothe that specific fear. You are not going into a relational vacuum. I am a God of family, of connection, of community. And I have already been at work in your future preparing the people who will become your new tribe. I have already prepared their hearts to receive you. You carry this heavy burden of worrying about making a good impression, of having to prove yourself, of striving to be liked. I want you to lay that entire burden down right now. It is not your job to win people over. It is my job to connect the hearts that are meant to be connected. In that new city, there are men and women whose spirits are already being prepared for your arrival. They may not know your name, but they feel a sense of anticipation. My child, listen closely to the whisper in your spirit. For the season you have been walking through is coming to a close. Your tour of duty in this current place is complete. I am moving you now from a place of serving to a place of even greater serving. And with this new territory comes a wider sphere of influence, a heavier but beautiful weight of spiritual responsibility, and a far greater opportunity to bring glory to my name. Please, do not look back at what you are leaving with a sense of demotion or loss. Lift your head high. You are a trusted servant being given a more significant assignment in the work of my kingdom. This uprooting is not a sign of my displeasure. It is the clearest possible sign of my trust in you and my grander purpose for your life. I have pulled back the curtain to show you the loving intention behind this painful change. To close your heart to my voice now would be to leave your roots exposed to the harsh air, refusing the living water I still have to pour out. Do not grieve me by choosing to remain vulnerable when I long to make you unshakable. There is more you must hear, for I want to show you what your obedience is actually producing. Right now, your focus is naturally on the sacrifice, the difficulty, and the loss. But I see the other side. I see the incredible blessings that are being unlocked by your simple, courageous yes. You must understand that your act of leaving, this step of faith that feels so costly, is not a loss in my economy. It is a seed. You are taking your comfort, your security, and your familiarity, and you are planting them into the fertile soil of my will. And I, the Lord of the harvest, give you my solemn promise that this seed will not remain buried. It will spring to life and produce a harvest of righteousness, a crop of blessings so overwhelmingly abundant that it will leave you in awe. Every tear you cry in this process is watering that seed. Do not focus on what you are letting go of. Fix your eyes on the glorious harvest that your obedience is making possible. Because you have said yes to me in this, you have passed a profound test of the heart. You have demonstrated that my voice is more valuable to you than your comfort, and that my presence is more desirable than your plans. This act of trust has delighted my heart, and because of this, I will now entrust you with more. More of my wisdom, more of my authority, more of my resources, and more of my anointing. In my kingdom, faithfulness in one level is the key that unlocks the door to the next. Your yes to this transition is the very key that is turning the lock on the greater things I have always planned for you. You are stepping into a new dimension of my power and my presence, all because you chose to obey. One of the most beautiful blessings that will come from this journey is the discovery of strengths within you that you never knew you possessed. This path will require you to go beyond your own perceived limits, pushing you into situations where your own talent and intellect are not enough. In those moments, as you lean on me, you will unearth a courage, a resilience, a creativity, and a depth of compassion that I knit into your being from the beginning, but that have laid dormant until now. You will look back in a year and be astonished at the person you have become. Know this: your step of faith is a world changer and a history shaper. It is not just about you. You are a generational pioneer. Your single act of radical obedience is breaking curses of fear and complacency in your family line. You are setting a new standard, a new legacy of what it means to follow me wholeheartedly. You are sowing a seed from which your children and your children's children will reap a harvest of blessings. They will look back at your life and say, because they were brave enough to go, our lives were forever changed. Please, my child, know that your obedience is a fragrant offering to me. It is an act of worship more pure and more beautiful than any song you could sing or any offering you could bring. In the courts of heaven, your quiet, trusting yes resounds like a symphony. It brings me inexpressible joy, for it is the loving response of a child who truly trusts their father. Finally, I give you this promise from my own lips. You will see my goodness in the land of the living, not just in the life to come. I will not withhold my blessings until you get to heaven. I will manifest my goodness, my provision, my healing, and my joy to you here in this new place, in this new season. It will be tangible. It will be undeniable. Your eyes will see the fulfillment of my promises. Your hands will hold the evidence of my provision, and your heart will overflow with a testimony that I am a good, good Father. This is the great and beautiful blessing that is hidden on the other side of your obedience. So walk forward and claim it. My child, as I send you forward, I must give you a firm and loving warning, one that is crucial for your success and your sanity in this new land. You must not look back. I want you to burn this image into your mind. Remember Lot's wife. He was being rescued from certain destruction, and she was being led by angels toward a new life, a future, and a promise. But her heart was still tied to the city of her past. She longed for what she was leaving behind, for the familiar comforts of a life that I had already condemned. In that one moment of nostalgic longing, that one backward glance, she became a pillar of salt, frozen in time, unproductive, and forever unable to enter the promise that was just ahead. This is a severe mercy, a stark lesson for all my children who are in transition. The future I have for you is forward. To constantly look back with longing is to risk becoming spiritually paralyzed, unable to fully embrace the new life I am so eager to give you. Do not make the same mistake. Your freedom depends on it. The enemy knows your weaknesses, and one of his favorite traps is nostalgia. He will tempt you to idealize the past. On a difficult day in your new city, he will whisper in your ear, reminding you of the laughter of old friends, the ease of your old routine, and the beauty of your old home. You will be tempted to conveniently edit out the memory of the restlessness, the frustration, and the very reasons I called you to leave in the first place. You will paint your past in a flawless golden light to make your present feel gray and disappointing. This is a counterfeit comfort, a deceptive trap designed to steal your joy and your resolve. You must recognize this tactic and refuse to fall for it. You must choose, as an act of your will, to live in the messy reality of your present, not the airbrushed memory of your past. Your present, with all its challenges, is where I am. Your past is not. Think of it in the simplest physical terms. My child, you cannot walk confidently and safely toward a destination if your head is turned completely around looking at where you came from. You will trip, you will stumble into obstacles, you will lose your sense of direction entirely, and you will miss the beautiful things, the new people, and the divine appointments I am placing right in front of you. I am calling you to set your face like flint toward the future I have ordained. This requires a conscious and continuous decision. When the temptation to look back arises, and it will, you must turn your gaze back to me and that horizon I am open before you. I want to offer you a divine exchange. Give me your nostalgia. Hand over every sentimental longing, every what if, and every ache for the good old days. In return, I will give you something far more powerful. My vision. A vision for your future that is so compelling, so filled with hope and purpose, that it will act as a mighty magnet, pulling you forward with joy and excitement. You cannot hold on to both your old memories and my new vision. You must choose. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Part of this is releasing any unforgiveness toward the place or the people you are leaving. Perhaps your departure is tinged with the pain of being misunderstood, mistreated, or overlooked. If you carry that bitterness with you, it will become a toxic root that poisons the new soil of your life before you even have a chance to plant anything good. You must choose to forgive. Release those people from the debt you feel they owe you. Hand them over to me. I am their judge, not you. Cut that final toxic tie of bitterness so that you can walk into your new life with a clean, free, and open heart. Underlying all of this is the bedrock of trust. You must trust that my decision to move you was born of my perfect wisdom and my infinite love for you. I see the entire tapestry. You see only one thread. To look back with regret is a subtle way of telling me that you think you know better. Resist that pride. Humble yourself under my mighty hand. Trust my leadership, and know that your loving Father is guiding you perfectly. The best is yet to come, but it is ahead of you, not behind you. My child, how you leave is just as important as where you are going. The way you conclude this season will have a direct impact on how you begin the next. I do not want you to simply disappear in the night or to burn bridges behind you. I am calling you to finish well, to leave in a way that honors me, honors others, and honors the work I have done in your life in this place. This requires intention and humility. So listen closely, for these are the steps to leaving with integrity and grace. First, you must fulfill all your commitments. Do not leave a trail of loose ends, unpaid debts, or broken promises. If you said you would do something, do it. If you owe someone something, pay it. Clean the home you are leaving better than you found it. Work diligently at your job until your very last day. Let your departure be a testament to your character, a reflection of my own faithfulness. Let the people you leave behind say of you, they were a person of their word. They finished with honor. This practical integrity is a powerful witness. Next, you must actively speak words of blessing over the place you are departing from. Your mouth has the power of life and death. Do not use it to complain about the frustrations of this season or to gossip about the people who hurt you. That would be like sowing salt in the fields behind you. Instead, I want you to become a sower of blessings. Walk through your neighborhood and pray for your neighbors. Pray for the person who will take your place at your job. Pray for the family who will move into your home. Release words of life, peace, and prosperity over the very community you are leaving. This act of love closes the door on the old season with grace and swings wide the door to the new season with an open heaven of favor. And please, my beloved, take the time to grieve. In the rush and excitement, you might be tempted to suppress the real sadness that comes with leaving. Do not do this. To be spiritual does not mean to be inhuman. Leaving involves real loss, the loss of friendships, of familiarity, of a part of your life. It is healthy and necessary to acknowledge that loss and to grieve it. Talk to me about it. Let the tears come if they need to. A healthy transition means you must process the legitimate losses, not just celebrate the anticipated gains. And in the midst of the grief, you must also celebrate the fruit. Before you go, take an inventory of my goodness in this season. Sit down and make a list. Write down the ways you have grown, the lessons you have learned, the prayers I have answered, and the beautiful moments of joy you have experienced. Gather with the friends who have been your rock and celebrate your shared history. Hug them, laugh with them. Honoring the fruit of the season you are leaving is what prepares your heart to recognize and receive the fruit of the season you are entering. It cultivates a spirit of gratitude, which is the fertile soil for all future blessings. If there have been leaders or mentors in this place, a pastor, a boss, an older friend who has poured into you and guided you, you have a holy obligation to go to them and give them honor. Do not just send a generic text message. Look them in the eye and thank them specifically for the impact they have had on your life. To receive spiritual impartation without giving honor in return is to leave with a spiritual debt. Honor is a seed that will produce a harvest of favor with the new leaders and mentors I have waiting for you. Finally, do the hardest thing of all. Search your heart with me. Is there anyone in this place whom you have wronged? Anyone you have spoken against, judged unfairly, or wounded with your actions or inaction? If the answer is yes, then you must go to them in humility and ask for their forgiveness before you depart. I know this is difficult. Your pride will scream against it, but you cannot carry the heavy baggage of unresolved sin and broken relationships into your new beginning. You must leave with a clear conscience, at peace with all people as much as it depends on you. This is what it means to finish well. It is to leave a legacy of integrity, blessing, grief, celebration, honor, and reconciliation. Do these things, my child, and you will step into your new life unburdened and with my fullest blessing. While you are focused on the external changes, the new address, the new job, the new faces, I am focused on something far more profound and lasting. The greatest outcome of this entire journey will not be what happens around you, but what happens within you. This transition is a holy instrument in my hands, and its ultimate purpose is your transformation. This journey will sanctify you. It will be a sacred process of chipping away all the parts of your character that do not look like me. Every frustrating delay at the moving company, every lonely evening in an unfamiliar place, every cultural misunderstanding, these are not random inconveniences. They are my chisel, lovingly and skillfully sculpting you. I am using these pressures to expose and remove the deep-seated pride, the stubborn self-reliance, the hidden impatience, the subtle judgments that have hindered you. Do not resist this sculpting process. My beloved, it may be uncomfortable, but I am making you into a masterpiece. Your character will be refined as gold in the crucible of this new experience. The intense heat of the transition and the sustained pressure of the unknown are designed to burn away the impurities in your soul. Your motives will be purified. Your faith will be tested and proven genuine. Your love will be stretched beyond its comfortable limits. You will emerge from this season with a character that is purer, stronger, and that reflects the light of my glory more brightly than ever before. This inner transformation is a treasure of infinitely more value than the comfort or success you are leaving behind. You will develop a beautiful paradox in your spirit, a new level of resilience combined with a new level of dependence. The challenges you face will force you to become tougher, more adaptable, and more spiritually resilient than you have ever been. The things that used to send you into a tailspin will feel like minor turbulence. Yet, at the very same time, this journey will systematically dismantle your self-sufficiency and force you to your knees. You will learn in your very bones, not just in your head, that you absolutely cannot do this on your own. This powerful combination of strength in your spirit and utter dependence on my spirit is the secret of a victorious life in my kingdom. Your perspective will be radically extended. Your current world, as good as it may be, is small. I am moving you to cure you of your spiritual nearsightedness. You will encounter people with different backgrounds and different perspectives, and it will expand your capacity for compassion. You will see me work in new and unexpected ways, and it will expand your understanding of my power. Your vision of my kingdom will grow from a small local map into a vast, breathtaking, global one. I am shattering the small box you have placed me in, and as you walk through this fire of transformation, I will give you a new name. This is a holy tradition in my kingdom. A new assignment often comes with a new identity. You may have entered this season feeling like fearful one, or person who plays it safe. But as you walk in obedience, as you face down your fears and trust me in the unknown, I will begin to whisper a new name over you in the quiet of your spirit. A name like Courageous Pioneer or Trusted Friend of God. This new name will reflect the new identity that has been forged in you through this process. This is the ultimate goal, the destination of all this change. You will look back a year from now, and you will see a person you barely recognize, because you will look so much more like me. The way you respond to pressure, the way you love the unlovable, the peace you carry in the midst of chaos, it will all reflect my character in a new and profound way. People will look at you and not just see a changed person. They will see a glimpse of their Savior. This entire difficult, beautiful journey is my loving, intentional process of conforming you day by day into the glorious image of my Son. That, my child, is the true purpose of it all. As you prepare to step into this new land, you must understand the spiritual reality of who you are and what you carry. You are not entering as a refugee hoping for asylum. You are not entering as a tourist just passing through. I am sending you as my authorized representative, and with that position comes a divine authority that you must learn to walk in. So hear me now, for I am commissioning you. I am bestowing upon you the authority for this new territory. I give you authority to trample on all the power of the enemy. The spiritual landscape of this new place has its own unique challenges. Strongholds of fear, patterns of sin, atmospheres of oppression. But I declare to you that the snakes of deception and the scorpions of accusation that have operated there have no power or authority over you. You do not come under their dominion, you come under mine. You walk under an open heaven, and the ground you walk on becomes holy, because I am with you. You must understand that you are an atmosphere shifter. You carry my presence within you, and my presence is the most powerful force in the universe. When you walk into your new workplace, your new neighborhood, your new community, you do not simply adapt to the existing spiritual climate. You change it. You bring the atmosphere of heaven with you. Your peace is a weapon that displaces anxiety. Your joy is a force that breaks the chains of despair. Your love is a fire that melts hearts of stone. Do not underestimate the transformative power of your simple, yielded presence. I am giving you the keys of the kingdom for your new sphere of influence. This is a profound spiritual reality. It means I am giving you the authority, through your prayers and your declarations of my word, to permit the work of heaven and to forbid the work of hell in your new environment. You are a spiritual gatekeeper. When you pray in alignment with my will, you are unlocking my blessings and locking the gates against the enemy's assaults. Use these keys. They are not symbolic, they are powerful. I command you to speak my word with a new boldness in this new place. Do not be timid. Do not measure your words by what is popular or politically correct. Let my truth flow from your lips with loving confidence. When you speak my word, you are releasing creative power into your circumstances. My word will not return to me void. It will accomplish the very purpose for which I send it. Speak life over your new home. Speak hope over your new colleagues. Speak truth into the darkness. And watch as I confirm my words spoken through you with signs and wonders. You must fundamentally change your mindset. You are not an immigrant nervously hoping to be granted citizenship in this new land. You are a child of the King, taking up residence in a territory that already belongs to your Father. You are not there by the permission of the world's systems. You are there by the royal decree of heaven. You belong there because I have sent you there. Therefore, my beloved, I charge you, walk in the full authority of your sonship. Do not shrink back in fear or false humility. Do not apologize for the light that you carry or the truth that you speak. I want you to square your shoulders, lift your head, and walk with the quiet, unshakable confidence of one who knows who they are, and more importantly, who it is that sent them. The authority has been given, the commission has been decreed. Now go and occupy the spiritual territory that I have already won for you. You are my ambassador. Represent me well. I have just placed the keys of spiritual authority for this new land into your hands. Do not dishonor this sacred trust by turning away before I have taught you how to use them. It would pain my heart to see you face the enemy unaware of the power you carry in my name. Stay with me, my warrior. Your commissioning is not yet complete. I have given you the authority and the keys for your new territory. Now I am giving you a chance to use them on a global scale. If you feel the weight of this holy commission, then I am calling you to partner with my work of sending this word out like a consuming fire. Your giving is not a donation. It is an act of spiritual authority. It is you using your keys to unlock this message for souls trapped in fear, breaking the chains of delay and discouragement in their lives. I promise you, as you give, so it shall be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, poured into your spirit and your storehouse. I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and place a seal of protection over what you sow today. Use your authority now through Super Thanks membership with the link in the description and release this fire to the nations. My child, let us talk about the matter that is causing that familiar knot in your stomach. Let's speak plainly about the money, the budget, the numbers on a spreadsheet that seem to be shouting the word impossible at you. I see your anxiety. I feel your fear of lack. And I am here to remind you of my name. I am Jehovah Jireh. This is not just a title. It is a declaration of my eternal nature. It means that I am your provider. The word provide literally means to see beforehand. I have already seen every need you will have in this transition. I have seen the security deposit, the cost of the moving truck, the unexpected repair, the weeks before your first paycheck. And because I have seen it, I have already made the provision for it. Your financial solution is not something I am currently trying to figure out. It has already been released from my heavenly storehouse. You are simply walking in obedience toward the provision I have already placed on your path. I want you to stop and think about what I taught you when I walked the earth. Did I not tell you to look at the sparrows? They do not have savings accounts. They do not worry about their next meal. Yet I, their Creator, faithfully feed every single one of them. And then I asked a crucial question. Are you not of infinitely more value than a sparrow? Of course you are. Your constant anxiety about your finances is, in a way, a subtle form of atheism. It is acting as if you do not have a loving, attentive, and all-powerful Father who is intimately concerned with the details of your well-being. Fear is an insult to my character. I am asking you today to repent of that fear and to choose to believe in my goodness and my ability to care for you. You must release your rigid expectations of how I will provide. You are looking at your limited salary, your dwindling savings, and you are trying to make the math work. But you are using the wrong kind of math. You are using earthly arithmetic, and I operate with the calculus of heaven. I am not limited to your paycheck. My creativity in providing for you is boundless. I will command provision to come to you from the most unexpected sources. It may come through a forgotten rebate check that arrives in the mail. It may come through the sudden generosity of a person you barely know. It may come through a creative idea for a side business that I drop into your spirit. It may come through a supernatural cancellation of a debt. Stop trying to predict my methods. Your job is not to figure out the how. Your job is to obey, to trust, and to watch with expectant eyes for my provision to manifest in surprising ways. You must understand this critical link. Your obedience is the key that unlocks my storehouses on your behalf. There is a specific provision that is tied directly to you being in the specific place I have called you to be. To stay where you are out of a fear of financial lack is to actually cut yourself off from the very stream of provision that I have waiting for you in your new location. Your greatest financial risk is not in going, it is in staying. This season will also be a classroom to teach you the supernatural secret of contentment. You will learn, perhaps for the first time, the profound difference between your needs and your wants, and you will discover the deep, abiding richness of having all of your needs met in me, even if you do not have all of your wants met by the world. Your security will be transferred from your bank account to your relationship with me. This is an immeasurable upgrade. And as I provide for you, I will be teaching you new principles of stewardship. The resources I am giving you are not just for your own comfort and consumption. They are tools for the kingdom assignment I have given you. Be ready to become a conduit of my blessings, not just a container. Be ready to steward my provision with generosity and wisdom, for to the one who is faithful with little, much more will be given. In the midst of this whirlwind of planning and packing, we must also address the very vessel that is carrying you through it all, your body. In your admirable zeal to be obedient and to accomplish this new assignment, I see a dangerous temptation arising. The temptation to neglect the sacred temple where my spirit dwells. Your body is not an inconvenient machine to be pushed to the point of collapse and then discarded. It is a holy space, a marvel of my creation, and the stewardship of your physical and emotional health is a profound act of worship. To honor me with your future, you must first honor me with how you care for yourself in the present. Do not fall into the trap of believing that spiritual strength can compensate for physical neglect. I designed you as an integrated being. Your spirit, your soul, and your body are intricately woven together. When one suffers, they all suffer. I see the endless lists that scroll through your mind, the tasks that seem to multiply with every one you complete. These lists will scream at you to sacrifice your rest. They will tell you that sleep is a luxury you cannot afford, that pushing through the exhaustion is a noble sacrifice. You must recognize this lie for what it is: a subtle strategy of the enemy to ensure that you arrive in your new land physically depleted, emotionally frayed, and spiritually vulnerable. I command you, my beloved, to rest. Scheduling time to sleep is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound act of trust. It is your declaration to me and to the forces of darkness that you believe I am powerful enough to work on your behalf even while you are unconscious. It is an admission that this entire endeavor depends not on your frantic activity, but on my sovereign power. So when your body tells you it is tired, listen. I am the one who gives my beloved sleep. Receive this gift. Just as you must guard your physical rest, you must guard your emotional health. This transition will stir up a potent cocktail of emotions: the grief of leaving, the excitement of arriving, the terror of the unknown, the anxiety over 1,000 details. Do not pretend you are not feeling these things. Do not bury them under a mountain of bubble wrap and moving boxes. If you do, they will not disappear. They will fester beneath the surface and erupt later as anger, depression, or even physical illness. You must bring these emotions to me. Come into my presence and pour out your heart. Tell me about your sadness. Yell about your frustration if you must. Confess your fears. I am not a fragile God who is shocked by your humanity. I am a compassionate Father who wants to help you process these feelings. Your emotions are not your enemy. They are signals from your heart. Let me be your therapist, your confidant, your safe place to feel everything without judgment, so that these emotions can be processed and released, not carried as toxic baggage into your new life. Remember that you cannot survive this journey on physical food alone. You would not attempt a long, arduous trip without packing food and water. How much more, then, do you need spiritual nourishment to sustain you? Your daily time with me in my word and in prayer is not a luxury to be squeezed in if you have a spare moment. It is your essential sustenance. It is the bread of my presence that strengthens your spirit and the living water of my spirit that refreshes your soul. If you neglect this, you will become spiritually malnourished, weak, and susceptible to every lie and every fear the enemy throws at you. In this season, you must learn to set healthy boundaries. You must learn to speak a holy no. Well-meaning people will make demands on your time and energy that you simply cannot meet. You must guard the resources of strength and peace that I have given you. It is not selfish, it is wise stewardship. Finally, release the mental stress of the logistics into my capable hands. Do what you can do in a day and then consciously hand the rest over to me. I am the Lord of details. I can coordinate a moving truck better than you can. Let my peace, which surpasses all understanding, guard not just your heart, but your mind. My child, I know that in this moment your world has shrunk to the size of your own personal journey. Your focus is consumed by your own fears, your own logistics, your own future. This is understandable, but I want to lift your eyes for a moment and expand your perspective. I want to show you that your obedience is not happening in a vacuum. Your departure is setting off a series of profound ripple effects in the spiritual realm and in the lives of those around you. Effects that you may never fully see, but that are a crucial part of my grander plan. When you look at the position you are leaving in your job, in your church, in your community, you see a void. You see a hole that your absence will create. And perhaps you even feel a sense of guilt or responsibility. But where you see a void, I see a holy space that I am intentionally creating. Your leaving is making room for a new leader I am raising up, for a new voice I want to be heard, for a new gift I want to be activated. You are not just stepping into your own destiny. Your obedience is a catalyst that is releasing others into theirs. Your departure is a form of promotion for someone else I have been preparing. See it not as abandonment, but as the passing of a baton. Your obedience will inspire faith in those who are watching you go. Do not think for a moment that your journey is unnoticed. Your friends, your family, your colleagues, they are watching. Many of them are trapped in their own fears, longing to obey my voice, but too afraid to step out of their own comfortable boats. Your life in this moment is a living sermon. It is a powerful, undeniable testimony to what it looks like to trust me radically. Your courage is contagious. When they see you walk through your fear, when they witness my provision for you in the new land, it will deposit a seed of faith in their own hearts. They will be emboldened to believe that if I can do it for you, I can do it for them. Your story will become their permission slip to be brave. You are leaving a legacy of faith that will preach a far more powerful message than any words you could ever speak. And do not worry that the good work you have done here will wither and die when you leave. The seeds you have planted in this season have a life of their own because they have been anointed by my Spirit. The love you have shown, the wisdom you have imparted, the prayers you have prayed for people, they do not expire with your change of address. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I will continue to water those seeds long after you are gone. They will spring up and produce a harvest of righteousness that you may not even be aware of until you stand with me in eternity. Your influence is not ending with your departure. It is simply being entrusted to my care so that it can continue to grow. You must begin to see your life as a single precious piece on my grand chessboard. This move, which feels so intensely personal and all-consuming to you right now, is also a critical strategic move in healing. In my divine plan for the redemption of cities, nations, and generations. You are part of a story that is so much grander than your own. Your simple act of obedience has ripple effects in the heavenlies, pushing back forces of darkness and releasing my purposes on the earth in ways you cannot possibly comprehend. This is why this journey is not just about you. It is about the advancement of my kingdom. I am deploying you, my trusted soldier, to a new front line in the spiritual battle for hearts and souls. I am sending you, my faithful farmer, to a new field that is ripe for harvest. Your personal growth and your personal blessing are a beautiful and intended part of the process, but the ultimate goal is always larger. It is the expansion of my light, my love, and my righteous rule in the world. So when the journey gets hard, remember this. Remember that you are part of something vast, something eternal, something profoundly significant. You are leaving behind a legacy not of comfort, but of courageous faith, and that testimony will echo with my goodness for years to come. There will come a moment when the chaos subsides, the last box will be unpacked, the pictures will be on the wall, and you will sink into a chair and breathe a heavy sigh of relief, thinking to yourself, I've made it, I have arrived. In that moment, I want you to hear my voice gently whisper, No, my beloved, now you can begin. You must understand that your physical arrival is not a destination. It is the starting line of a new pilgrimage. The arduous journey of transition may be over, but the even more important journey of habitation, of putting down new roots and bearing new fruit, is just beginning. Do not allow yourself to grow complacent in the relief of arrival. This is the most critical time to lean in and listen to me. For the way you begin this new season will set the tone for all that is to come. In your relief and excitement, there will be a powerful temptation to immediately start building your own little kingdom. Your mind will race with plans to perfect your new home, to impress your new colleagues, to climb the social ladder, and to fill your calendar with activities. You will feel an urge to create a sense of normalcy and security as quickly as possible. I understand this urge, but I am calling you to resist it. Before you seek your own comfort, you must seek my kingdom. Your first priority upon arrival is not to get your house in order, but to get your heart in order. It is not to get comfortable, but to get connected deeply and intentionally to me, your source. This is the non-negotiable first principle for a blessed new beginning. The very first act in seeking my kingdom is to build an altar. Not an altar of stones, but an altar of worship and thanksgiving in your heart and in your home. Before you ask me for a single thing in this new land, before you ask for friends, for success, for favor, you must thank me for the grace that brought you here. Fill your new home with the sound of your praise. Thank me for my faithfulness on the journey. Thank me for the promise of the future. This act of pure, unadulterated worship is what consecrates the ground. It is what invites my manifest presence to come and dwell with you. It establishes my rightful place as the Lord over this new chapter of your life. After you have worshipped, I counsel you to wait. Be still in your ambition and enthusiasm. You may be tempted to rush out and immediately start doing things for me. You may want to start new ministries, fix problems you perceive in your new community, and offer your opinions freely. I am asking you to resist this as well. There is a sacred season upon arrival that is for observing and listening. Spend time learning the landscape. Listen to the stories of the people I have placed around you. Listen for the unique heartbeat of this new community. And most importantly, listen to me. Ask me, Father, what are you already doing here, and how can I join you in it? You must act from a place of divine revelation, not from the energy of your own fleshly ambition. You must humbly connect with the community I have prepared for you. Do not wait for them to come to you. Do not stand on the sidelines judging whether they are good enough for you. Take the initiative. Introduce yourself. Accept their invitations for coffee, even if you are tired. Be vulnerable and share your story. It is your responsibility to humbly and intentionally plant yourself in the spiritual family I have provided. Pride and isolation are the twin enemies of a successful new start. And as you begin to settle in, as this new place starts to feel like home, I want you to hold this one final truth loosely in your heart. Your ultimate arrival is not in this new city. It is not in the perfect job or the dream house. Your ultimate, final, and true arrival is in eternity, in my loving embrace. This place, no matter how wonderful it becomes, is still a temporary assignment. This eternal perspective is what will keep you free. It will keep you from placing your ultimate hope in your circumstances. It will keep you from being devastated when things do not go perfectly. It will keep your heart and your affections set on the things above, the things that truly last forever. You are a citizen of heaven. Never forget it. As you stand on the cusp of this new beginning, Facing the inevitable struggles and the uncomfortable adjustments, I want to give you a powerful fuel for your journey. I want to lift your eyes from the path at your feet and give you a glimpse of the joy that is set before you. It was for the joy set before him that my son endured the cross. And it is this same forward-looking joy that will give you the strength to endure the challenges of this transition. This is not a shallow happiness based on circumstances, but a deep, resilient joy rooted in my eternal purposes. The greatest of these joys is the profound and holy satisfaction of partnering with me in my redemptive work. I could have chosen angels. I could have written my message in the stars. But I have chosen you. I have chosen to use your hands, your voice, and your story. The feeling that will come when you see me use you to bring a glimmer of hope to a despairing person, or to bring a moment of peace to a chaotic situation, that is a joy so deep, so pure, and so fulfilling that it makes every personal sacrifice fade into insignificance. There is an immense joy awaiting you in the discovery of new facets of my own character. In your last season, you came to know me as your comforter and your sustainer. But in this new environment, facing new and different challenges, I am going to reveal myself to you in new ways. You will come to know me as your supernatural provider when a need is met in a way you could not explain. You will know me as your waymaker when I carve a path where none existed. You will know me as your defender when I protect you from an unfair attack. The joy of knowing me more deeply, of seeing more of my glory, is one of the greatest rewards of this entire journey. It is a treasure that no one can ever take from you. Anticipate, my beloved, the indescribable joy of seeing souls come to know me through your life. I want you to dare to imagine it. Picture yourself years from now, standing with me in eternity, and a person walks up to you with tears in their eyes and says, "Thank you. I am here because you were brave enough to move. I am here because I saw the love of God in you. I heard the truth of God from you, and I chose to follow him because of your obedience." Can you feel the weight of that glory? There is no earthly success, no promotion, no accolade that can even begin to compare with the joy of being used to save a single eternal soul. Look forward to the joy of bearing fruit that will last. So much of what you strive for in this world is temporary, but I am calling you to invest your life in something that will outlive you, something that has eternal significance. The love you sow into the lives of people, the peace you bring to your new community, the truth you plant in the hearts of your new friends, that is fruit that will last forever. The deep, abiding joy that comes from knowing your life has a lasting eternal impact is one of the most powerful motivators you can possess. And please, do not think this journey is all solemn duty. I am a God of laughter and celebration. I have moments of pure, unadulterated fun and delight planned for you in this new land. I am arranging friendships that will make you laugh until your sides ache. I am preparing new experiences that will fill you with a sense of childlike wonder. Expect these moments of grace. I am a joyful father, and I delight in giving good and joyous gifts to my children. You must remember that this joy is not a prize you earn at the end of the journey. It is your inheritance available to you right now. It is a fruit of my spirit, a deep supernatural wellspring that exists inside of you, completely independent of your external circumstances. Even on the hardest, most lonely, most frustrating day of this transition, you can, as an act of faith, reach down into your spirit and draw from this well of my joy. It will be your strength when you feel weak. It will be your song in the night. This is the joy that is set before you. Fix your eyes upon it. Let it pull you forward. It is real, it is promised, and it is yours. I have shown you a glimpse of the joy that is set before you, but the final blessing, the covenant anointing for your journey, is yet to be spoken. To leave now would be to walk away from the banqueting table, just as I am about to pour out the most precious wine. My heart yearns to send you off with the full measure of my blessing. Remain and receive all that I have for you. My child, before you take your final step out of the old and into the new, I want you to stand still and receive this. This is more than a wish. It is a divine decree. It is a covenant blessing that I, your Almighty God, your loving Father, now speak over you, your journey, and your future. Let these words wash over you, sink into the deepest parts of your being, and become the spiritual reality in which you walk from this day forward. I now release this blessing upon you. May my face shine upon you and be gracious to you. In the moments when you feel unseen, unknown, and lost in a new crowd, may you feel the tangible warmth of my gaze upon you, reminding you that you are known and cherished. When you make mistakes, when you feel you have failed, may my grace, my unmerited favor, cover you like a shield. May I turn my face toward you, not with a look of disappointment or judgment, but with a gaze of absolute fatherly delight. And may I give you a peace that surpasses all human understanding, a deep inner tranquility that will guard your heart and your mind even when the world around you is in chaos. May I make your feet like the feet of a deer, giving you a supernatural stability and agility to navigate the high, treacherous, and unfamiliar places of this new season. When the path becomes steep and the ground beneath you feels uneven and dangerous, may you walk with a confidence and sureness of foot that is not your own. You will not stumble, you will not fall, for I will establish your steps and make your way secure. May I be a wall of fire around you, an all-consuming, impenetrable fortress of divine protection. May this fire guard you from every attack of the enemy, every malicious word, every hidden trap, and every danger seen and unseen. And as I surround you with my fire, may I be the glory within you, a brilliant, radiant light of my own presence that shines from your spirit, dispelling every shadow of fear, doubt, and despair from your heart. You will be protected from without and luminous from within. May your basket and your kneading trough be blessed. This is my promise of abundant and holistic provision. May your bank account, your pantry, and your resources be supernaturally multiplied. May you never know a day of desperate lack. May my provision flow to you with such overflowing abundance that you not only have more than enough for your own needs, but you become a generous conduit of my blessings to everyone around you. And may your coming in and your going out be blessed. May I bless the painful moment of your departure, anointing it with grace and peace. May I bless every step of the physical journey, surrounding you with safety. And may I bless the joyful moment of your arrival, anointing it with favor and hope. From the moment you lock the old door for the last time to the moment you unlock the new one for the first time, every single step is covered and consecrated by my blessing. And this blessing I speak over you is not a temporary one for this season alone. It is an eternal covenant. May this favor, this peace, this stability, this protection, this provision, and this guidance be upon you, your children, and your children's children for 1,000 generations. It is a legacy of my goodness that begins today with your act of obedience. This is my sworn oath to you, my precious child. It is decreed in heaven, and it shall be manifest on earth. Now receive it not with your mind, but with your spirit. Breathe it in. It is yours. My beloved child, as we come to the end of this time together, I want to lift your gaze one last time, higher than the horizon of your new city, higher than the ceiling of your future hopes and dreams. As you prepare to establish a new home on this earth, I must anchor you in the most profound and liberating truth of all. No place on earth is your final home. That house you will pour your heart into, that community where you will forge deep and lasting bonds, that place you will eventually call home. It is all a beautiful, temporary gift. It is a lovely inn on a long and glorious journey, but it is not the destination. Your soul was created with a longing, a holy homesickness that no earthly address can ever truly satisfy. It is a longing for me. You are a citizen of heaven, and your spirit will always feel the gentle pull of its true north, its everlasting home, which is found only in my presence. This move, which feels so all-consuming and monumental right now, is in the grand scheme of your eternal story, but one single step on the radiant path leading you into my everlasting arms. Every challenge you will face in this new place, every joy that will take your breath away, every relationship that will shape you, each one is a divinely orchestrated experience designed to prepare you, purify you, and draw you into a deeper intimacy with me. This life is a grand and beautiful school, and every lesson is designed to teach you more of my heart so that you are fully prepared to graduate into glory. See every earthly change I bring into your life, every new season, every goodbye, every hello, as a sacred rehearsal. It is a small-scale practice run for your ultimate and final transition from this life into the splendor of eternity. By learning to trust me in these smaller moves, by practicing the art of letting go and following me into the unknown, you are training your heart and spirit for that final glorious journey. You are learning that every goodbye on this earth is merely a prelude to the eternal, unbroken hello that awaits you in heaven. Therefore, I urge you, my child, as you walk into this new season, let your heart and your mind be set on things above, not merely on the things of this earth. Do not invest all of your emotional and spiritual capital in trying to build a perfect, painless heaven for yourself in your new city. It will never be. That is not its purpose. Its purpose is not to be your ultimate satisfaction, but to be a beautiful and challenging training ground where you learn to long more deeply for the one who can truly satisfy you. This perspective is not meant to diminish your joy and the new blessings I will give you. On the contrary, it is meant to liberate you. It frees you to hold the blessings of your new life with a grateful but open hand, knowing they are gifts to be enjoyed, not idols to be clung to. It frees you to endure the inevitable hardships with a resilient and unshakable hope, knowing they are temporary and are producing something eternal in you. You are a stranger and a pilgrim here, an ambassador in a foreign land, and that, my child, is a high and holy calling. So remember the ultimate goal of all your leaving and all your arriving. It is not in the end to achieve a certain status, to build a certain ministry, or even to do great things for me. The ultimate purpose of your entire life and of this specific season is simply to know me more deeply. Every circumstance is an invitation. Every person is a mirror. Every challenge is a classroom. I am wooing you, drawing you, calling you into a deeper, more intimate, more breathtaking knowledge of my heart. If you gain the whole world in this new city, but your heart grows distant from me, the journey will have been a tragic failure. But if you face immense hardship, if you achieve none of the things the world calls success, and yet through it all, you learn to know and trust my love in a new and profound way, it will be the greatest success imaginable. That is the true destination. Your journey is not to a place on a map. Your journey is to me. My child, all the instructions, all the promises, all the warnings, they all distill down to this one final, all-encompassing truth. This is my final word to you as you go. This is the promise that holds all other promises within it. Listen with every fiber of your being. I am with you. When the day comes that the rooms of your home are stark and empty, when your own voice echoes off the bare walls, and a wave of irreversible finality washes over you as you kneel down to tape up that last lonely box filled with the final precious remnants of this life, I am with you. My presence will be a tangible comfort in the silence, more real than the cardboard beneath your hands, more solid than the floor beneath your knees. I am with you in the quiet and sacred finality of that moment. When the time comes for the hardest farewells, as you stand before that person you love and the words you have rehearsed get caught in your throat, when the ache of goodbye becomes a physical pain in your chest and the tears you have held back finally begin to fall, I am with you. I am the supernatural strength in your heart that will empower you to release them with grace and blessing, not with fear. I am the all-sufficient comfort that will wrap around you like a warm blanket after the door has closed for the last time. I will be with you in every single tear, catching it in my hands and honoring the love that it represents. Do not be afraid of that moment. I will meet you in it. Whether your journey is on a long and monotonous highway with endless miles of road stretching out before you, or on a plane soaring 30,000 feet above the earth surrounded by the noise of strangers, I am with you. I am the peace that will guard you in the driver's seat. I am the calm that will hold you in the midst of turbulence. I am the silent, faithful companion who sits beside you for every single mile, every single moment of the journey. You will not travel alone. You will be escorted by the King of the universe. And in that moment of profound vulnerability, the one you are perhaps dreading the most, when you stand before the door of your new home with the key in your trembling hand, and you take that first hesitant step into the empty, unfamiliar space that is supposed to be your future, I am with you. In fact, I have gone before you. I am already on the other side of that door, waiting with a father's welcome to receive you into the new place I have prepared. You are not stepping into an empty void. You are stepping into my waiting presence. And this is not a short-term promise for this transition alone. This is my eternal, unbreakable covenant with you, sealed in the precious blood of my Son. I am with you always, in the bright and easy seasons, and in the dark and difficult ones, in the moments of confident faith, and in the moments of crippling doubt. I am with you through it all, and I will be with you to the very end of this age, and into the glorious eternity that follows. So go now, my child. Go forward from this sacred conversation, not just with my advice in your head, but with my very presence in your heart. Go in my unfailing, unconditional love. Go in my resurrection power that makes all things new. And go in my unshakable, supernatural peace that will be your constant guard. The journey begins now. Release your fears, take my hand, and step forward. Oh, I am waiting for you there. My child, I have promised that I am with you. Now I am giving you the holy privilege of sending that very promise to another soul who feels utterly abandoned. If you have felt my comforting presence through this message, know that someone is crying out for that same comfort right now, and you are my chosen vessel to deliver it. Your gift becomes manna in their wilderness, a tangible sign that I see them and have not forgotten them. As you release this seed, I declare over you that I will make all grace abound to you, so that in all things at all times you will have all that you need for every good work. Your jar of oil will not run dry as you care for my people. Be my answer to their prayer. Send this promise to them now by giving through Super Thanks or a membership with the PayPal link below, and become a conduit of my very presence on the earth. My word has been spoken over you, and the path forward is now consecrated. If you have received this commission and your heart says yes to my call, I want you to seal your obedience in this very moment. Declare boldly in the comments below, I am leaving the shore. Let this serve as a public testament to heaven and a notice to the enemy that you are moving under my command. Let this act of faith be the first step that unleashes the tide of my provision for your journey. I will be watching for your name, for your new season has just been decreed. Amen.